Anthony on Air podcast back for another episode. Plenty to talk about, too, including the latest with Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie, what his dad did to the house today and what they were doing down in the Carlton Reserve. We're going to get into it. Plus, the first time we've ever seen Bill and Melinda Gets together since they announced their divorce. The most adorable video you will ever see this week. A seal hugging a diver. Just adorable.
An actual seal.
Yeah.
Not the singer.
Not a kiss from a rose guy. Real seal.
Real seal.
Donald Trump claims he does not like golden showers. Adele dropped some new music on us. Still don't like your review, LA Times. The Sopranos movie was great. Bean Dad and Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Dave Chappelle, the controversy there. Asteroids are zipping by the planet starting tonight, starting Friday night.
So if this podcast gets interrupted,
right,
most likely we were hit by an asteroid.
Asteroids. Mick versus Paul. Michael Caine retires. Hooters uniforms are too short. And it is Frank's stupid birthday. Happy birthday, my friend.
Thanks.
More on Frank's birthday in a second. Let's start up with Gabby and Brian Laundrie. Not much to talk about there. Not like huge groundbreaking things, but if anybody's following this and you're totally involved like we are, here is the latest. By the way, credit to Bird on Twitter. She, I believe, is in Colorado, if I'm not mistaken. And she drove by one of the locations that Gabby had passed before she passed when she was on her trip, and she took a picture. She did this a couple of times. Took a picture in front of Wings, and
that's like the big, that's the famous picture. That's the one right there. Wow.
Thanks, gorgeous. Got my coffee. Got my Jumpstart coffee delivery. Fresh.
Nice.
Right here.
Got mine going.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, Jumpstart Coffee Company. So good. Link in the description. More on them in a second. But yeah, that was one of the locations, which is it just goes to show you like how like enthralled everybody is, with Gabby. And
I mean, it's one of those things you want justice for her.
Yeah.
It's sad. It's definitely a sad situation. And to think that someone could get away with something, it's terrible. So we want to see some justice for Gabby.
Yes, 100%. So I just thought we'd share that photo with you. Credit Bird for sending that in.
Thank you, Bird.
Very, very nice. Also one of those eerie situations. But they were doing a search over at the Carlton Reserve again today, and they brought large rifles into this wooded area. And I feel like it started,
This
grabbing
is down in Florida.
This is down in Florida, in the place where they were doing, all the searches.
Right.
The searches everybody arrives today, and they, start to pull out, all the guys get out of the van and everything, and then people start noticing, like, wait a second, they have huge guns.
I wonder if they think that he might be armed in some way.
I mean, possibly. We'll have to come back to this when this ad for dog food changes, but I want to show everybody the video that's watching. Here we go. All right, so as you see here, the guys are, hopping out of the van, which is no different from any other day, except for if you look closely, they're handling large rifles and
I feel
guns.
like that's business as usual for people, for a like if they a manhunt. No, you're going to be armed. And what are they going to have? I mean, these guys look like they look like they should be carrying some kind of big weapon like that.
No, this is a new thing for today. I don't know what changed, but I think it got everybody all up and like, oh my God, like, are they going to get him? Did they see him? Because why today?
They don't seem like they're in a big rush.
No. By the way, did you see them walking initially? Just could you imagine this search? Like, let's credit the law enforcement for a second here. They're walking through a swamp in disgusting armpit Florida. That
right.
Muggy, shitty, awful weather.
You could see how hot it is. That's, It just looks like you. I'm sweating just watching this video.
Oh, it just looks miserable and hot.
Plus, I'm sure they have those weapons for any kind of wild animals they might encounter.
Yeah, but as it turns out, the Northport police said they were basically just running a drill.
Oh, okay, it could
Huh?
be.
But then that sound weird to you? Like what? Like a drill? Like, go look for the guy.
Unless these are trainees, people they don't know yet. Who knows? Maybe it's a training mission or
That's
something.
what. Yeah, that's a training, a drill, a training.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, it
So
was a training
you got to
exercise.
do that. I mean, of course, it's going to go noticed. It looks like it, especially these times. But yeah, if that's all it is, yeah, because it doesn't look like they're in any kind of rush to get where they need to be. If they're
Right.
looking for Brian Laundrie.
Right. And I mean, I guess you're probably saying you got everybody out there. You might as well do some training while you're at it. But I don't know. I just feel like you should be 100% focused on searching all the time.
Sure, but maybe you train these guys, they'll have more people to search. You gotta look at the positive. You gotta look at the bright side of stuff. You can't always be negative.
Trying. I'm trying. I didn't think there would be a lot of conspiracy theories popping up around this, but you go to the internet, you'll find something somewhere, and
Oh,
some
sure.
people are sending me stuff now. They're like, "Oh, that's a cover up. He's a serial killer. He's been killing people."
They take the one, like that serial killer thing. I think came from Dog the Bounty Hunter. He speculated, or he said he's a
Yeah.
serial killer.
Yeah.
And now, once you say something,
Yeah.
someone takes it and runs with it,
Right.
and
Now he's a
that
serial
becomes
killer.
the thing. Now he's a serial killer. He probably killed dozens of people. Who
Yeah, they brought up the couple. Remember the lesbian
the
couple?
not the couple, yeah, the women. Maybe he had something to do with that. Maybe not. We don't know. It's all speculation until
Yeah.
they reveal any of that to us.
I mean, I think the belief now is that he didn't have anything to do with that because, if I'm not mistaken, I believe they were shot.
Yeah, and he wasn't the. Oh, who knows? Maybe he had a weapon with him, but who knows? Do we know that he didn't have one for a fact?
We don't know if we don't know, but it would just seem odd that he strangled her and then shot that.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't really seem
That would
to
be weird.
make sense. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility, but
Yeah.
yeah, because again, I think like as a default, you would just think, oh, perhaps they came across him doing something bad to her and they got caught all in it, but it's not really the case. Um,
Yeah.
Second part of this is Chris Laundrie, Brian's father, because they're camped out on his lawn at all times now, was spotted today installing a doorbell camera,
Okay.
which I find to be a little odd for a couple of reasons.
Which
What's that?
why is that odd?
Because
Not saying it isn't, but I just don't know the reason.
yeah, and I mean, like, I get it. Like, he, wants to keep an eye on people. He's got to keep an eye on the
Yeah.
house now and everything. So,
People
but
camped out in his front yard, I'm sure.
right, yeah, I get it. It's not out of the realm of it's not. What is happening with? Is there
There's an ad for everything.
everything now?
Shoppable tiles. What does that even mean?
I wish I invented these sweatpants. I feel like every woman's wearing these sweatpants. All right, there's Brian putting up
Is he attached it to a screen door?
he's attaching it to a screen door.
That's probably not the best spot for it.
I wouldn't think so.
I don't know. I'm not okay. Hey,
What an awkward situation, though.
I mean, I guess people keep coming up to the door and stuff. You want to be able to, because I think you could talk. Can you talk through those? Like you could talk to people.
Yeah, yeah.
So maybe he's like, look at there's a dozen people just watching them get the mail. It's like
There's 5 camera guys filming him getting the mail, and we're like, "That's ridiculous." As
Yeah,
we sit here
as
and
we watch
comment on
the
it.
whole thing, the whole thing. Can't take my eyes off it.
Oh my god, it's just one of those things. This
Does
is one
anybody?
of.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say this is one of. Yes, you can kind of see it there. You see it there on
Yep.
the.
Hmm.
This is one of many things that we do as humans that we, well, some of us can admit is stupid, but you can't help yourself from doing it.
Yeah.
and you hate it, and you hate it, but you're doing it anyway.
You get sucked in like that.
Yeah, it's like, who cares about the Kardashians? It's so stupid. What are they even famous for? And then a thing comes up on your feed, and you're like, oh, what's happening with the
Yeah, what are
Kardashians?
they up to?
Yeah.
Did one of them get divorced? Did one of them get married? I don't know.
And the answer is yes.
But but I don't want to be the only one that doesn't know.
Yeah, so you put a new doorbell camera in there. What I find weird about it is if they were hiding him somewhere on the property and they were able to build a sophisticated bunker system, you'd think video camera, doorbell monitor, that would have been first or part of that installation process at some point.
Maybe. I don't know what doorbell camera has to do with hiding someone under a garden, but
Well, you got to keep your eye on the situation, what's happening,
I guess. I mean, that's probably not your first thought. But we're gonna need a doorbell camera. It's like, why? Put me under the freaking garden already.
Well, I mean, not a door, but a camera system or something to keep your eye on what's happening.
Maybe they have it. Maybe they have it.
Well, what do you need a doorbell camera for then?
To look at the front door. Maybe they have stuff around their property. They just don't have one at their doorbell. Who the hell knows? I don't know. Do I look like I built the laundry home?
No, you didn't.
I don't look like that.
Yeah.
Plus, has anybody gone in the yard yet?
Still no reference to the yard. And can I say something else?
No.
There hasn't. I mean, I'm sure there's been little things. I know that the police are answering requests, but there hasn't been like a big press conference in a while.
I mean,
the coroner had theirs.
Well, that was what, a couple days ago.
That was a couple days ago, but that was in Wyoming too. There hasn't been like the police to gather and like update everybody on the situation or release a sketch of what they think Brian may look like right now and what he could possibly be wearing, and there's no wanted poster, there's no like, where's this stuff?
I mean, it's a wanted poster. I mean, what is this, the Wild West? We got the internet. We know what he looks like. Everybody knows what he looks like.
Yeah.
What are they going to go around with the staple gun and put him on telephone poles?
I know, but I'm just saying, like, when you remember when the Boston the marathon, remember when that happened?
Right.
Like,
well, they had the guy and they just kept chasing him.
Right. Right.
That was an ongoing chase. They knew he was in this area and there was a manhunt, and that was like a 48-hour showdown.
I agree. It was a little bit of a different situation, but still, I feel like he was plastered everywhere. Like, wouldn't it be advantageous to start plastering some of these photos of this guy around this area in Florida, around the Appalachian Trail area?
Is he? Maybe they have. I'm not there. I don't know.
I haven't seen it, and I just watched a video of a guy go get his mail. So I feel like if something like that would have happened, we probably would know about it.
That's kind of true. I'm sure people. I mean, which FBI agent's going to be the one? Do they send an intern to go poster up the neighborhood?
Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, I mean, but in all not fairness, in all honesty, they're looking for him, not for Gabby's murder, right? They're looking for him for this. What was it? Was it a tax thing or something?
They used their credit card.
A credit card thing, yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess you can't put up a wanted poster for someone who stole a credit card. I don't know.
Brian's lawyer slammed John Walsh. Nailed it.
Nice.
For the ID special that we talked about on the last episode, where Walsh speculated that Laundrie might be in the Bahamas hiding out, or in the Appalachian Trail in Mexico was also another thing that he was saying. Walsh said, I absolutely believe his family is helping him stay on the run. And Bertolino, I forget what's this guy's first name, the lawyer. Steve Bertolino. This is Laundrie's lawyer. He said, "Dusty relics like that dog and John Walsh need a tragic situation like this so they can clear the cobwebs off their names and give
Oh,
their publicity hungry egos some food."
wow.
Ouch.
Jeez. Can't even hold
Seriously.
back.
Yeah.
That's putting it plainly.
A spokesperson for Walsh said, "It's ironic that." Oh, wait, hang on a second. Walsh had no comment, but Dog the Bounty Hunter issued his response saying, "It's ironic that Mr. Bertolino would criticize the people trying to find Brian Laundrie, unless perhaps he doesn't want him to be found." That Dog the Bounty Hunter's a pro. He knows how to answer them questions.
That's true. Is he still in Colorado working on his ankle or
Well,
something?
that's what I was just gonna say. Even the dog, like I feel like the buzz around finding Brian is dying down a little bit.
Right.
And because no matter, and this is as big of a piece of shit as they come, but no matter how big or awful the person is or how bad everybody really wants them to be found, we have news fatigue, and people just kind of they'll grow tired of a story after
Yeah,
a little while. And
that's true.
I
But
feel
this
like
one,
that's happening right now with them.
maybe. But this one, once a new thing happens, it kind of resurges, you know?
It will resurge, yeah, but there hasn't been anything like necessarily huge in the
The
last couple
cause
of
of
days.
death was, that was a big one.
Yeah, that's true. But Dog, I feel like Dog's quiet. Hasn't really been saying much. There's no updates.
It's
There's
because
no.
he's on the DL. No,
Yeah, we'll see.
he's on the DL. He can't. He's doing his work from Colorado for some reason. Doesn't
Hmm.
make any sense to me, but that's what he's doing. Um,
Let me
once he
ask you a
gets back in the
question,
game, I don't know when that's going to be. Yeah,
and this is just because this popped up. How much do you think Dog the Bounty Hunter's worth?
his net worth. Uh, he had what? One TV show for how many years? I'd say he's worth 10 mil.
Because it's your birthday, you're gonna start making good guesses now. Is that what it is?
What do we got? How close am I?
6 mil. I thought you're pretty close.
Not bad.
4 off, but I would say that that's close.
That's not chump change. That's something.
No, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
6 million, not bad.
could live on that.
I have to tell you, if I was worth 6 million, I would not be bounty hunting anymore. I would not be searching for that next show at the age of 68. I'd be in Florida getting shit faced every day, just
Well,
hammered drunk.
yeah. I mean, but if you're that's your lifestyle. That's your whole. That's what you do. What is he gonna just play shuffleboard? You see
I
Dog the Bounty Hunter on a shuffleboard court?
he'd be trying to investigate everything.
Would you get that crawler?
He'd be like, "Hold on a second, there was an extra shuffleboard thing here, and now it's missing. Where is it? I'm gonna open up a tip line."
Yeah, hunt me down a cup of coffee. I wonder if people make jokes to him like that all the time,
They probably do.
like at Thanksgiving. Hey, dog, while you're in there, maybe investigate me up a turkey leg.
Calm me down, coffee was my favorite.
Oh, good.
Um, let's look at Bill and Melinda Gates, and then we got to look at the seal hugging a.
Yeah, that's nice. I like when we pepper in nice stuff.
Some fun stuff. After you talk about a piece of shit like Brian Laundrie and then
Yeah.
Bill Gates, it's been nice to pepper in some.
All right, let's get through this bastard. What happened? All right. So they were seen together.
Yeah, it's again kind of one of those things like where you watch Brian Laundrie's father get the mail. You can't help but not see it. But Bill and Melinda Gates, they were photographed together for the first time since the divorce.
I mean, they're in the same area, but I don't know if they're together there.
Well, it's the daughter's wedding, so one of the daughters is getting married.
All right, so they're going to be there. It's not like one of them's not going to go to their own daughter's wedding.
Yeah. By the way, in Westchester.
Westchester.
Yeah, their daughter Jennifer lives in Westchester. This is in her Westchester mansion. Um, Bill looks like shit, by the way, to me. He looks fat. Melinda looks fabulous.
I think it's the jacket. He's kind of hunched over a little.
Yeah, maybe it's just a bad shot.
Yeah, the back of the jacket. If you take the back of the bottom of that jacket, it looks like it's fanned out a little.
And I know it's kind of hard to see her, but she really looks good. By the way, who are these? Are these wedding photographers next to them, like hunched, like on this?
It looks like
perch?
it. That looks like a wedding photographer setup, like that handheld thing that he's got.
Yeah, let me bring it out to another photograph and show you how weird this really gets.
Is that someone taking a picture of someone taking a picture?
Exactly. That's exactly what's happening.
Okay.
Somebody's taking a picture. Look at these guys. A little photography war right here.
I mean, I would imagine that the only people who have cameras in that house and on that property would be the wedding photographers. I'm sure he doesn't have press so those are two wedding photographers?
Dude, I count 4. The guy on the left.
Ah, I see.
Here's a guy, and the guy right behind him. And then if you look over here, somebody's taking a picture of Bill Gates' dick, I think, because what else could this guy be snapping a photo of?
Yep. Hopefully it's not Microsoft. Thank you. Thank you. Is that the photographer's reflection in that window?
I think so, or it could be a 5th.
Could be.
And
that's probably that woman might be his assistant.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a lot of photographers in one spot.
Yeah, it's a shit ton. You want to see a picture of the bride?
Sure. But I don't think it's weird. I mean, they're there for their daughter. Hey, you got like 3 photographers in that shot.
I know.
Plus whoever's taking the picture.
There's just tons of photographers. Oh, here we go. Let's get a good look at Melinda. I bet you she's just losing weight and looking fantastic.
There's Melinda. All the photographers are gone now. Can't spot one in that shot.
No.
And so you got the bride and groom next to her. Yeah, it looks like some family there.
I don't know if a woman is ever in the best shape than after she tells her husband to go fuck off.
Right?
Like a man divorced probably still be a fat schlubby piece of shit, but a woman,
because they're on. You think they're gonna start dating soon?
I mean, yeah, I would say so.
Imagine.
I would say so. I heard there was a wonderful dinner at the wedding. They were serving 12-year-olds. That's unconfirmed. I haven't been able to confirm that just yet.
You blipped out right at the beginning of whatever that joke was going to be. All I heard was there was some good food at that wedding. I heard they served, and then it blipped right out. And I was like, that was going to be a joke. What'd you say?
12-year-olds. It wasn't my proudest moment.
That's upsetting. What's wrong with
keeping up with the internet jokes, Frank. It's an internet show. We got to make internet jokes sometimes.
That's just wrong on every level.
All right, Frankie C and I are both drinking our Jumpstart Coffee Company.
Mm-hmm.
I've got mine in my delicious Anthony on Air mug. Can you see mine?
You can see yours. Mine is too low. You can see the reflection of mine.
Yeah.
But mine is my brand new birthday present from my wife, my Metallica and Coffee for All mug.
That's a lovely birthday present.
Isn't that nice? Love it.
I mean, it would have been nicer if she bought you something from our merch store, but I guess if you got to, get something outside.
We're not really fans of the show, so.
Do you remember that scene in Curb Your Enthusiasm when he sips he goes, I think I could do a coffee commercial. He goes, take a look at this. And he sips the coffee. Goes,
no, I don't remember that, but that sounds
good
amazing.
Coffee. We got to get that clip.
What was the thing from Seinfeld? Hennigan's? No smell, no tell, scotch.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I tell you what, a little buka, I got to try that. A little buka in this Jumpstart, you probably have yourself a nice little party.
Ooh.
Nice little thing right there.
I'm thinking a little, what's that? Is it Irish cream? What the heck is it called? The
Bailey's?
Bailey's, yeah, I love that.
Throw a little Bailey's in there.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, they don't make a big deal out of buka anymore that much. A little Zambuca in the coffee. I feel like Irish coffee's a thing, Mexican coffee's a thing.
A buka, it's like a late '80s, early '90s thing. I feel like I grew up with everybody having that in their coffee, and it just went away.
Yeah.
It's not really I feel like the older generation is into that. The one that next up from us.
I'll do it on an occasion, like a rare occasion.
Do you have it in your house?
I do. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. We don't.
Always had Zambuca in my house. I never had a lot of alcohol in my house. You know my parents. They're not really
No. Yeah.
not really big drinkers at all. But
They
we
did have
always
a
had
lot of
Zambuca.
off-brand soda though in your house. I don't know what that was about. I mean, I
My
liked
mother
it.
was cheap. That's what it was about.
It was good. I had no complaints, but it was never Coke or Pepsi. It was always like some weird cola. It was
Fizz
the kind
Cola.
yeah, it was the kind you see on Full House. But it was good. I had no complaints.
That was like a number one complaint of friends. Like every one of you guys, my friends, would pass a comment of like, where do you get this stuff? It was very embarrassing for me growing up. Very.
It was fine. I had no problem. A lot of cherry flavored sodas too in your.
Yeah.
And you always kept it all in the garage too. You had like a garage full of soda.
Yeah. They
remember
never.
that.
Yeah. My parents did not believe in putting soda in the refrigerator.
I mean, once you open it, you got to throw it in the fridge. But they stored it like the apocalypse was coming.
Let me tell you something. I mean, even to this day, my parents don't refrigerate things that they should be refrigerated.
That's not good.
And will fight me on it. They'll be like, "Oh," I go, did you leave this cranberry juice out?" And they're like, "It's fine. Leave it alone." I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's fruit. It's in nature all the time. It's not
Yeah.
in the refrigerator.
I'm like, I don't think this is okay.
Mm-mm.
Like this.
Read the bottle. You got to point it out to them on the bottle. They can't argue with that.
Don't care. No, I have. They don't care. They do not care. And I've told the story of the iced tea. There are some iced teas that need to be refrigerated. I remember I bought that iced tea and it was not refrigerated for a while and then refrigerated again. And it had that glob of just bacteria, like sugar bacteria. And when I poured it in, it went gloop, like, and like, it was disgusting. These savages that raised me, they still won't put tea in the fuck. And I go, there's plenty of room. They go, get out. You don't need to. It drives me crazy.
Because they don't want the refrigerator to work as hard if the fridge is full. Is my theory. And
cannot take a suggestion from me. Cannot.
I don't take any suggestions from you, so that's not really on them.
That's
more about you than them.
When they visit from Florida, I think this is one of our best Jumpstart Coffee Company reads. When they visit,
they're enjoying it
from Florida.
Yeah, I'll hold it up so it's not a total loss.
And they go, oh, we're gonna go out for lunch, and I go, oh, okay, where like, are you going shopping or whatever? And I go, okay, you know what's good by there is these three places are great if you want to get like a nice little lunch or something like that. Come back, I go, where'd you go for lunch? Oh, somewhere else. I go, what? Why?
They didn't ask for your advice or your
I fucking
suggestion?
live here. I know what's good. Or I go, like, what are you? And then I'll go like this. I go, what are you in the mood for? And they'll go, oh, burgers. Oh, perfect. There's a great burger place right here. Then they come back and I go, what'd you do for lunch? Oh, we had hot dogs at Costco. What the fuck? Hot dogs at Costco. By the way, if there's let me bring it all in. Let me pull it all in together. You know why you can tell Jumpstart Coffee Company is good? Because my parents' taste buds are such shit that my form of rebellion wasn't going out and partying and getting drunk. It was having the finer things in life. So I really know what to look for, and Jumpstart Coffee is that thing.
You see, I knew there was a point to this rambling.
Cheers, everybody.
Absolutely.
Salud. Tell me this is good for a commercial. Hold on. That's good coffee.
You lost me at the...
Oh, I forgot you hate that.
I hate that.
Save 15% off Jumpstart Coffee with the promo code AOA15. Link is in the description below and also on the banner.
I'm drinking the medium roast.
The banner on the homepage of anthonyonair.com. Got a nice little thing that I'm getting some more dark roast coming my way. Very excited.
I still have a little bit left of the dark roast. It's a beautiful, beautiful aroma.
Yeah. I was just about to run out too, and the team at Jumpstart Coffee, I didn't say anything. They were like, you know what? It's time to send that guy some more coffee.
I mean, they are a generous group of people.
The best.
Especially with their 50. I can't believe they give half of what they make. away to the Navy SEAL
To the Navy SEAL Foundation.
It's amazing.
Extraordinary.
That's amazing.
Extraordinary.
They don't
human
have to
beings.
do that. They could just sell coffee.
No. They
Half.
are the exact other side of the spectrum from Brian Laundrie. These fucking people. They're fantastic. They're fantastic.
Agreed.
That's
Way to go,
literally
guys.
it's Brian Laundrie and Jumpstart Coffee Company people right there. That's what it is.
Yep.
15% off Jumpstart Coffee Company, promo code AOA15. Also in the link in the description for this particular episode, we have some donation information. We don't do the donation thing often, Frank. You know that. I don't really beg for the donates. But our own J Sabs, who's not here
Yeah.
tonight. By the way, I asked Frank what he wanted for his birthday, and he said, "Can I just do one show without that fucking asshole?" I said, "No problem. We'll won't invite her to
Yeah,
this
but
one."
you're here anyway.
What? What'd you say?
I said, yeah, but you showed up anyway. You said, "Can we do one show without that asshole?" I said, "But you're here."
I got it. That would have been great if the
It
internet
blipped
didn't.
if it didn't. Yeah,
Yeah.
this internet is against. It's against comedy, is what it is.
That's the problem. It's all serious all the time.
Right.
No, but Janine lost her firstborn. It was a stillbirth. We've talked about this before. She does some great work for Star Legacy Foundation. I actually got mad. I got genuinely mad at her.
You did. I saw the texts.
Did you?
Well, you're talking about you got mad at her.
Yeah.
Today or yesterday?
Yeah, but you could tell that I was mad with her.
No, I didn't think you were mad, but you were little upset, I guess.
Yeah, I was so anyway, we were talking the other day, and she said I can't make the show Friday night because I'm giving a speech. So she does a lot of work for Star Legacy, and she was giving a speech, and so okay, no problem. As it turns out, it's stillbirth awareness. Oh, because today is stillbirth awareness day. Now I know my way around the internet and social media, and I go, if Friday is the day, does that mean that we're in stillbirth awareness month? And she goes, oh yeah. And I go, well, why didn't you? I go, are you doing any fundraising? She's like, yeah. I'm like, well, why didn't you say something? Why didn't you tell us so we could put a fucking thing out, and make a.
I bet it's all over her OnlyFans. But no, not good enough for AOA.
I bet it is.
But it's in the description below for the video.
There's a link in the description below, and it'll remain there for the rest of October. With this, I hope I'm saying if it's not stillbirth awareness or it's something else, please forgive me. But that's the thing, and there's the page right there, and people are donating. She's trying to raise $25K. She's almost up to 10,000. So again, if we've ever made you laugh, if you could find it in your heart to throw a couple bucks this way. This is the only thing that you'll ever hear us kind of fundraise for.
Hey, don't say that. You never know.
Well, we should be doing more, but this is one of the more important things for us. Yeah, so
maybe we'll have a golf outing. Maybe who knows?
No, but I'm saying like the stillbirth thing is very.
Yeah, no, I mean we
us.
That's true. We might have other charities that are close to us, but this is a great one.
It's a very, very good one. And here's why it's great, and here's why the money is important, is because there's a lot of education, and there's a lot of shortfalls and a lot of education to still be had by raising awareness and money for this. Like there's babies that can be saved through getting more information out and making people more aware of their pregnancy, and especially the last couple of weeks and what to look for and all that kind of stuff that doesn't really happen right now.
Right.
So that's why it's very, very important. So again, if you could find it in your heart to donate, everything is in memory of Diana Hope, Janine and Guy's first baby. So that would be great if you could do that.
Agreed.
And I still hope that her speech tonight went horribly wrong. I hope she stuttered and forgot.
Oh, I'm sure it did.
Lost her place.
See, you're just a heartless bastard. I know you just did a nice thing with the the charity, but then you reversed it all with that.
Well, got to balance it out. I don't want people thinking I'm a nice person. I can't have that rumor spreading
Yeah.
around like crazy.
I'll give you that.
You never recover from those things.
That's true.
What's
the opposite of canceled?
I don't know.
Approved? We don't want you getting approved now.
Yeah, we don't want to. I don't want to be a part of approved culture. I can't have that.
Seal hug. This is another a good thing. Let's keep the good stuff coming.
Let's keep the good stuff coming. Yeah, this was trending on Twitter today, and I thought, let's bring this to everybody with some of the morbid topics that we have on the show, like Bill Gates and Brian fucking Laundrie. Take a look on your screen. There's a seal. He's up against a scuba diver. Wait. He really gets a good look. The guy's rubbing. Look at this.
Oh
seal.
my god.
Look at the seal hugging the scuba diver.
Oh, that's adorable.
Look, and then
it goes
back.
In for more.
It goes in for more.
Oh, that's freaking. Animals are wonderful, aren't they?
Just beautiful. Look how beautiful this seal is too. Not for nothing. Look, he just needs a little hug.
He just wants to look. He's having a day. He just wants a little companionship there. That's nice.
Sometimes you need a fucking hug. Not wonderful.
Awesome. That is awesome.
I love that.
Man.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Just a little seal hug today.
Do we know where this is?
In the water.
Thanks. Makes sense.
It happened in the ocean.
Okay.
What do you need to know? What do you need to know? You gonna go? You gonna go?
I'm gonna go say hi to the seal. What do you know? I don't know. What if I'm in the area one day and I want to? Hey, this is where the seal hugged that guy. You don't know.
Yeah, you don't know. Now listen, it is Frank's birthday. It's a very big day. I'm gonna give you the choice. Do you want to ignore the President Trump stories, or do you want to spend a half hour or so just pummeling the former president? What do you prefer? Ignore it, or let's beat on it. What would make Frank happier on his birthday?
See, I would want to ignore, but I don't want to cost the show a topic. You know, it's fine. Yeah. Okay.
That's dedication, my friend. That is dedication.
Okay. So this looks like just a wonderful topic based on the headline alone.
Yeah. Supposedly there was there was a Republican retreat. Okay. If you're like 14, retreats are okay. If you're an adult and you're on some sort of a spiritual retreat, I could even let that pass. But a Republican retreat, I just don't know if that's appropriate.
What are there's got to be activities, you know. Yeah, I can't imagine what they're doing there.
Biden bashing and marshmallow roasting around the campfire at 7 tonight, everybody.
Pin the eviction notice on the underprivileged family's door. What are they doing?
All right. Yeah, so apparently there was a retreat, and supposedly, as the story goes, this is according to the Washington Post, so take it as you will. If you're a hardcore Republican, you could take this as entertainment. If you're a Democrat, I'm sure this is making your night. According to the Washington Post, Donald Trump addressed the golden showers story. Now, do you remember this story?
This is like, I feel like 100 years from now, this is what he's going to be remembered for. Apparently, supposedly, there's a rumor that while he was in Russia, there's a tape, or God knows if there's a tape, that he had some prostitutes in a hotel.
And everybody knows what, yeah.
And then, yeah.
Which I feel like is I always thought that the story was total BS, because if there was an actual tape of that, there is no way.
Well, the rumor, the conspiracy theory has it that
Putin is blackmailing
tape
him?
is a blackmail thing.
Yeah.
That's the rumor.
I just don't think so. I just feel like that would be found. There's just no way. There's just absolutely.
You imagine if that? I feel like his base would be like, so you guy likes golden showers. He's still a good president. Shut up.
So unprompted at the retreat, he brought up the unsubstantiated claim that he had interactions with prostitutes in Moscow. He says, and I quote, "I'm not into golden showers. You know the great thing, our great first lady, that one. She said, "I don't believe that one." So Melania said she didn't believe that one.
Oh, case closed.
Yeah, but
Melania doesn't believe it, so it's
isn't
over.
that damning all the ones that she does kind of believe or doesn't really know?
Yeah, that one she doesn't believe. The rest of them, it
Yeah,
kind of implies that there are a bunch of other things that she does
eh,
believe.
coin flip could be real, could be not, but that one's bullshit.
Do you think? I honestly, I don't know. I mean, if that's what you're into, who am I to judge? It doesn't hurt anybody. It's what you want. It's what you like. I don't care. But it's just it's just a thing. It's an odd choice for a I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not judging anybody. But if that came out as this, that it was real, you think it would have any effect?
No,
Wouldn't do anything.
not anymore. In 2017, I would have said yes. Now, no, I don't.
With all the crap,
I
this
really
is a
believe.
drop in the bucket.
I believe he could go out onto Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody, and we'd all be
Probably.
like, that guy probably had it coming. That's
The
what people
guy,
would say.
he was going to be the next Hitler.
Yeah.
You gotta
Yeah.
take him out.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what that would be.
By the way, that was a Republican retreat and a story in the Washington Post. So the only way that that is legit is if you have a Republican that absolutely can't stand him that wants to talk to the Washington Post. So,
well, that story is real. That they talked to him and he denied the golden shower thing. You're talking about the actual tape in Russia, right?
No. I'm talking about this story. I'm saying that I feel like you would, if the Washington Post certainly wasn't at the retreat, so somebody would have had to tell them the story.
Oh,
And it's a Republican retreat, so it would have to be obviously a Republican that hates him.
how do you know there wasn't press at the retreat?
No, there wasn't press at a retreat.
How do you
invite the press to a fucking Republican retreat?
They don't have to be invited. They just show up.
Supposedly, also, President Trump told his supporters not to vote in the next election.
It's a good move.
Yeah, I don't know about this one.
Yeah, no, the guy's perfectly sane. Don't vote. That's great strategy. I don't know what the end game is for that, but it's not starting out good. That's not a good step one.
His statement was, if we don't solve the presidential election fraud of 2020, which we have thoroughly and conclusively documented.
Show me those documents.
Republicans will not be voting in 2022 or 24. It is the single most important thing for Republicans to do. This, by the way, this is one of his statements, just so you guys know.
Yeah, that's out of his, his website.
Yeah.
There you go. So I'll give him, it's a bold strategy, but is it going to pay? Let's see if it pays off for him in the end.
That is a bold strategy.
Yeah, don't even vote.
That's a bold strategy. I don't even understand how that would remotely be considered something that would be effective.
Do you think in the long run it's going to be one of the only thing I could think of, and I don't even think it's. I'm just trying to think of what's going on in his mind. Maybe is if no Republicans vote and all Democrats vote, it's going to look so one-sided that it'll look like fraud.
No, I don't think he's thinking that.
He's not thinking that. He's just saying.
I think if that were to actually happen, and how many people voted in the last election? 150,
like 160 million or 175 million.
All right. If it turned out to be, that the Democrats won the presidency, 130 million to 30 million, I think the idea would be is that it would be such a statement of embarrassment that that you would feel that's not a legitimate, of course he won, but the opponent didn't show up. Not fraud, but I'm just saying I get he won, but it's we didn't show up protest kind of a thing. The legitimacy
do anything.
But the legitimacy of those people would be called into question because half the country just turned their back on them.
Too bad. They're in charge now. You basically just handed over the election. That's all. That's all you did.
Yeah, that's the reality of the situation. I really, honestly, and truly wish he would just give up on this because I feel like it's hurting him more. I know it's firing people up, and I know those donations keep coming in, and Steve Bannon seems to love it. And Steve Bannon has a brain for this stuff. I know he's an asshole, but he's got a brain for this stuff. I just feel like long term he's causing more harm than good to his own
Yeah,
reelection. But
of course he
also,
is.
but here's the other upside of it for him. He's already sort of priming the fact that what if he doesn't run, or if he does run and loses.
Yeah, well, that's what he did. That's what he did against Hillary in 2016. He was saying fraud, 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 fraud. Then he won, so he dropped the whole fraud thing.
Yeah.
Then he was saying fraud, fraud, fraud. Then he lost. And then he lost, and he kept going with the fraud thing.
Yeah.
Did I glitch out?
Yeah, but I heard it all. Your video
All right.
skipped a little bit. That's all.
Okay.
That's all I got
Adele.
on Trump. You want to talk about Adele?
Let's move on to Adele. New song.
Adele, new song, "Easy on Me," tops the iTunes charts and grabs millions of views.
Good for Adele.
Adele is good for two things: the music industry and divorced women. I mean, that is where Adele fucking shines. And I honestly believe this, because if you look at, like, she's on the iTunes charts. Like, there's not a lot of people that buy music that much anymore. And okay, granted, this is still streaming for the iTunes charts, but when you look at how well she does, there was another article that said she makes $1.5 million a day, and not just her. That's what she produces for the music industry. Yeah.
She's making $365 million a year.
No, not she's making. That's what she produces for the music industry.
That's what she's. Yeah, that's
right.
That's her.
That's what
I got you.
Right, but through all of it, that's what they estimated that she's dishing out.
I got
obviously that she's making, that her producers, the record company,
the team. Yeah, I got you. Everybody
the marketing
involved with the brand of Adele.
Right.
Pulls in that much money a day.
And even more than that, because if you go to listen to an Adele record and then you pop on and listen to, whatever, Taylor Swift or whoever else, or somebody that you wouldn't normally listen to, that still gets, that's still kind of to her credit. She's the only artist that had the best-selling album in the United States for 2 consecutive years. And
Really?
she did it twice.
The only artist to ever have that?
To own 2 consecutive years of the best-selling record and do it twice.
Oh, so 4 albums total?
2 albums, 4 years.
I gotcha. So one album was 2 years in a row. The other album was another 2 years in a row.
It's insane. Easy on Me. I'm going to go check this out right now. Yeah. Easy on Me got 15 million views after the first 8 hours of being uploaded. 15 million views. That's 2 million views an hour.
That's close to what we get.
Yeah. Exactly.
Come on, guys. Let's get those numbers up there. Let's get the Anthony on Air podcast up to Adele numbers.
Yeah, let's get them Adele numbers.
Right?
I only heard like a 30-second snippet of.
You're not going to play it. Can we?
No, we can't.
You can't play any of it.
Holy shit! You thought 15 million views in 8 hours was good? You want to take a guess at what it's up to right now?
How many hours has it been? A lot. Almost close to 20 something hours. Okay.
Yeah, because it was uploaded, I think, at like 12:01 or something like that.
Okay, I'll say 150 million.
No, that's a lot.
Okay, I'll say 90 million.
44 million.
That's still pretty good.
Again, there's only 24 hours in a day, so if it's been up for 20 hours,
yeah, that's a lot.
That's
2 million an hour.
2 million an hour pace is what she's on.
That's not bad. Go Adele.
It's not bad.
I like her. She's good.
I know several women who are divorced, 40s, whatever, divorced. If I say the word Adele, they're like, "Oh, that's my girl." They just fucking love her. They just love her.
She's the one, huh?
Yeah. She's the one, and I get it. Look, she was the ultimate. She got dumped and wrote a smash record. You know what
Rolling
I mean?
in the deep, baby.
and then did it again, and then got divorced. So now she's divorced, and she's like actually making the divorced record. You know,
You could have had it all. Rolling in the deep.
for reals.
Good stuff. She can carry a tune.
Very ballady.
Yeah, it is ballady. Is she playing the piano too? Does she? I don't know if she plays the piano.
No, she just sings.
Better than me.
But the lyrics are "Go easy on me." I mean, who's not gonna?
It's nice.
Who's not gonna be like, "Oh, Adele, I'm with you, girlfriend."
Who hurt you, Adele?
Who hurt you? Tell us who hurt you. Yeah, she's honestly. I mean, I'm looking forward to the record though. I mean, I want to. I fucking love all her shit.
So this is just one song she released, huh?
Yeah, this is the single. The album comes out, I believe, just before.
That's nice that she did it on my birthday. That is nice of her.
It is. It was a.
She
big
got my
birthday gift for
letters.
you. Yeah, she got my letters.
It's nice. I appreciate that, Adele. Thank you.
Her new album will be called 30.
30, huh?
Yeah, she names all her albums over after she did 21, right? 25, I think. She names all her albums after like the year where she wrote them or the year that they come out.
30?
The age that she is. Yeah.
She's 30 years old.
Yeah, well, she's 33 now.
Well, I guess the year that it's about, or
I
how
think-
old she was when.
Yeah, I
gotcha.
think that might be. I think that might be what it is.
Eh,
By the way, put her record label on the fucking map. Like she was one of these artists that hit just before, you know, like when indie music was.
I remember when Rolling in the Deep came out. That was a monster of a song.
Dude,
What's that? I missed you.
At EHM we were playing that shit before anybody. Like she was one of those indie artists that it was just like, this is great, and we don't know where to put her because pop radio will not play this. You know what I mean? And it's good. So there was all the indie stations across the country were kind of playing it.
Which I don't understand because it's a good pop song. I mean, it's got that. I can picture pop music. It's a little bit of a love song, but it's got that pop edge to it.
No, it's great. Well, and the other thing too was that was right around the time of after we lost Amy Winehouse, so everybody was kind of
into that style,
just dipping into that 50s, female girl, Supreme sort of style. Right. 19, 21, 25, and now 30. Those are her 4 records.
Pretty good.
Yeah, and then she went and won the Grammys and SNL, and that was it. She just fucking blew up.
So she's only ahead of me by 4 records. That's not bad.
Yeah, no, I think you can catch up.
I just got to make 4 records. That's all.
I mean, I was listening to you drum on the table earlier, and it was bad. I got tears in my eyes. Tears.
I'm telling you, if I can make the whole album, I'm gonna call it Drum Table, and just knock it out.
Good. Yeah, it'll be good.
I wouldn't buy that.
I'm still upset with the LA Times. Don't care for them. I'm gonna go back and probably watch the Sopranos movie this weekend again, just to kind of give it a little bit more time.
You didn't get their apology in the mail?
No, and I never will. Frank, you were the one who remembered Bean Dad. You want to share the
vaguely? I'm not even sure if I got it right, but Bean Dad, I believe, was this viral thing that lasted like a week or so. It was a couple of years ago that a daughter couldn't.
A couple months ago, I think it was this year.
This year?
I know, it feels
Holy
strange.
Crap!
Yeah,
I feel like that was 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That a girl couldn't open a can of beans, and the father was like, "You have to learn how to do it yourself. So I'm gonna let you figure it out." Something, right? Is that how it went down?
And like he was like, "That's what you're eating. So like, if you don't open up the can, you're not eating," or something crazy like that.
That's I'm giving you. And she it took her like 4 hours or something to do it. Or I could be getting some of these details wrong, but I think that was the gist of it.
Yeah, basically. And then the internet did what the asshole internet does, which is just shame this guy into losing his job and getting canceled and all the bullshit that the fucking internet does. And that was Bean Dad. I don't know whatever happened to Bean Dad, but and he was obviously being facetious to an extent. now this Liz Mayer, I believe it is, she's being accused of being Bean Dad. By the way, I haven't heard anybody coin the phrase Pokemon, and I feel like it should be because Liz is burning her son's Pokemon cards as punishment when he doesn't do basic stuff. And
Yeah, I mean,
she's being called the new Bean Dad.
it's a Pokemon card, number one. Number two, I guess that I don't know what kind of impact that has on a kid to burn their favorite thing or whatever. So that might be a little bit of a I don't know, but I mean, if you don't want your crap, it's like clean this up or it's going in the garbage kind of thing. That's a famous line that moms used to say.
I say that 7 times a day.
Right, I'm
Right
throwing it
now.
out.
Yeah.
It's a Pokemon card. It's probably stuff. You buy another pack and you'll get unless it's like I think I'm blipping out. That's on me. I think
Mm-hmm.
that was me.
You're good now. You're back.
All right. So I think it's if it's not like a card that's worth $1,000, then it's like. I mean, I understand that the kid is going to be upset, but basic stuff is Look, if you look at the next thing down, if you scroll down, you'll see the basic stuff. That
Yeah, I'm going to share that with you because there's a couple of things in the thread here. But I'm of two minds with this. On the one hand, I feel like you got to be a parent. You got to do like you said. It's just another. I'll throw that toy out. But it is a little extreme to be just sitting there like lighting a card on fire. And at the same token, these fucking Pokemon packs are like $12 a pack.
Are they?
They're insanely expensive.
That's
My kid was into them for like 3 weeks. I was like, this has got to stop. These are like, this is crazy. Because they all wind up on the floor. And, you're not getting the big valuable ones in these stupid little packs that you buy at the candy store.
right.
So
what do you think? Do you think this is a bad thing to do? He doesn't eat enough dinner? Card burnt.
Yeah, look at what go ahead. This is what he doesn't do.
Okay. Yeah, so the basic stuff is eating. He comes home without having eaten any of his lunch. Card burnt. Ugh, I can't
Go
see
ahead,
it.
I'm
Hold
hearing
on.
it. Go ahead.
I know, but I can't see the screen glitched out.
Oh,
Okay, there it is. He doesn't eat enough dinner. Card burnt. Bear in mind, my kid is about 4'6" at age 7, and yet weighs less than 55 pounds. He needs to put some weight on, specifically muscle.
See, I look, I understand, like as a parent, like you understand, like yes, it's an extreme thing, burning a card in somebody's face, but when he's not eating at all and it's not healthy for him, and you're like forced to make a drastic move. I mean, she's not hitting the kid, like that would be bad.
I get no, of course, but like, I feel like if a kid isn't eating, is there something else that's going on? Like, is something wrong that the kid maybe has
Yeah, his
some
mom's a
issue?
psychopath.
Yeah, or the food sucks. Maybe cook better. No, like if the kid doesn't want to eat, maybe he's got some kind of issue going on. Make like a
Could be, but he's not eating in
looks,
school or at home, right? Yeah, maybe somebody called him fat. Who knows?
It could be something like that. And now on top of that, he's got to deal with his mom burning the stuff. So maybe he's got some kind of problem that he, instead of punishing the kid, maybe ask him, hey, why aren't you eating? Is something wrong? Or,
Well, I'm sure she has. I'm sure she
I'm
didn't
sure
start with burning a Pokemon.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's just other issues that causes a kid not to eat. I don't know. Again, people are going to say, "Oh, you're not a parent. You don't know." I get that. But it can't be a kid. The kid, you put a slice of pizza in front of the kid. Is he going to eat it? Like maybe he doesn't like what you're making him. I don't know. There's got to be an issue there. It's not like he's, not like the kid is misbehaving.
No, but he's doing something that's not good for him.
Right, but
so sometimes you got to take that drastic measure to make sure he's
yeah. But is he doing it on purpose? Probably not. He's not. He's probably not going, fuck this. I ain't eating this. He's probably something's wrong.
7-year-olds are
because it's an issue.
Stupid. 7-year-olds are stupid. 7-year-olds are.
That's true. He is 7. I forgot he's 7.
I mean,
who knows? I'm sure he. I'm sure she knows the kid better than anybody, but who knows?
I did love Seth Rogen's response, which is save the valuable Pokemon cards so they can pay for therapy when he's older.
There you go. You see,
Yeah.
the kid's gonna be in therapy because my mom burned all my stuff.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
then
that's
this woman, Anna, underneath wrote, yep, my therapist is very familiar with the time my dad threw my Celine Dion CD out the car window onto the freeway.
hey, that's traumatic stuff. That stuff sticks with you. That's traumatic stuff. And you know what? Is it gonna help him eat? I don't know. I mean, I'm sure he doesn't want his cards burned anymore, but I'm sure she's at her wits' end trying to get this kid to eat.
Yeah.
But you know,
100%.
there's got to be another way.
100%. And
The
look,
kid, yeah.
I don't hate what she's doing, honestly, because
Mm.
again, she's not really harming the kid. I'm sure the kid's got
Mentally,
5,000
she's
fucking
not physically harming the kid.
Right, but physically harming the kid would be really bad. But I'm just saying,
Right.
like she's doing her best. My problem is keep it the fuck off Twitter.
That's true.
Oh,
Easy.
well, back and stays there.
So
Keep it off Twitter. Like, don't you don't
right.
have to share all your parental things on Twitter because what do you think is
That's
going to
true
happen
too.
to you?
Of course. Now, I mean, again, my point is the kid isn't like a bully. He's not hitting his sister or something. You know, that stuff, yeah, you got to punish them. He's not eating, means that there's something going on with the kid that he doesn't want to eat,
Yeah, but not
right?
necessarily. Okay, because for instance, no, not necessarily. Because for instance, my kids aren't obviously this bad, but there'll be times where, like a couple of times this week, my son's teacher sent his lunch home with him,
Hmm.
and when we asked him like why, because they get 20 minutes for lunch, and it's like why
Doesn't
didn't you
seem
eat?
like
Did you not?
enough.
I know it doesn't, but
We used to have an hour in school.
I know, but they talk, they just yap, or they play with toys, they get distracted and they forget. And then they're hungry, like, cause then like he'll come home and he's like starving. It's like you don't have, you can't eat at 3:30. You have to eat at 12:30. Because then you're not
I think
hungry for
part.
dinner.
I think you pointed out the problem right there is that they only get 20 minutes. By the time they get around to eating, lunch is over.
Right.
If the kids had an hour, yeah, they could talk and play and eat at the same time. I feel like
But I even
20
see it
minutes
with
is not enough.
I see it with my daughter too at home. Like she will just talk and yap and play with it, and we're like eat, and like we have to if we don't tell her 7 times to eat, she would not eat her dinner. She would just forget about it entirely. It's like they're just they don't they need to eat, but they just don't think of it.
And I think, yeah, maybe I feel like that's a common thing. And is it there? Like I eat we eat when we're hungry. Do you sit down at an exact time and say it's 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock? I am eating dinner, or do you like? We don't do that because we don't have kids, so we eat when we're hungry. I mean, is that the thing? Just they're not.
Well,
You
I mean,
can't get
but
them into that habit, right?
it's you can't, and be honest, sometimes like you maybe not even be so hungry, but you're like, I have to eat now because I can't be eating at 9:30 at night.
Yeah, that's true.
Like you have
But
that, right?
yeah, but if I force myself to eat when I'm not hungry, I feel like I'm just putting on. I feel like I'm putting on weight for no reason.
Hmm.
Like I feel like I'm not hungry. Why am I eating? That's I kind of get what the kids are talking about. If you're not hungry, why am I eating if I'm not hungry? But I know they have to be on a schedule. I get it, but I think step one to solving your kid's eating thing, they need more than 20 minutes. I mean, even people working in offices have an hour. Give the kids 45 minutes. If the goal for that 45 minutes is eating lunch, maybe they'll get around to it after the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, but you don't honestly. If they would drag on forever. It would just drag on forever. They're big dumb
Yeah,
animals. These
I don't know.
kids.
20 minutes, even from step one, the start of the lunchtime. 20 minutes is not enough time to even digest. Just
No, It's not. But they get 20 minutes to eat because I think they get another 20 minutes to go out and play. So it's not like they're getting. It's not like it's just like they get a nice little lunchtime.
Yeah, but what is it? Kindergarten? They're playing the whole day anyway.
Nice in first grade.
First grade. I mean,
do you know who my kids are?
No. You kidding? Coming from the guy who remembers nobody's kids.
Yeah, I don't remember any of the kids' names. All right, let's talk about Dave Chappelle. Let's get into this.
Okay.
So we talked about this the other day, which garnered us a thumbs down because we didn't watch the Dave Chappelle special. Which I found funny that everybody came to our rescue after that. I do love this audience. You guys are the absolute best. The absolute best. One guy said, he goes, "You don't put a thumbs down just because of one little tiny thing." He goes, "You got to recognize how hard work, how much work goes into these videos." And there is a considerable amount of work that goes into these videos, as shitty as they are. Yeah. So Chappelle said some stuff, and who was the young lady? She was the
woman that works at Netflix. I don't remember her name.
No, but she was a writer on a show. She had just transitioned.
Transitioned. Yeah, I don't remember.
Dear
her
White
name,
People. Yeah, I forget her name.
There you go.
Anyway, she was one of the writers on Dear White People. And she basically said, I'm quitting the show. I'm not gonna write on Netflix anymore because I watched this Chappelle special and I was so offended as a trans person, and Dave Chappelle's horrible and blah 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 and all this stuff, and she quit. So then, following that, came the typical cancel culture of, okay, let's try and force Netflix into canceling Dave Chappelle and taking the special off of the platform. To which Ted Sarandos, who is, by the way, one of the most beloved man in Hollywood, like for all the shitty things you heard about Weinstein, people have nothing but praise and kindness about this Ted Sarandos. Like everybody has nice things to say. Like he runs the company the way everybody wants Hollywood to be run, which is basically not like how Hollywood is currently being run. So they put the pressure on Sarandos to take the show off the air, and Sarandos said no, absolutely not. He said it's one of the most popular shows that we have right now. Not only that, every Dave Chappelle special we put on goes through the roof, and everybody watches it. Everybody, rates it very, very well. It's like what he says, this is what our audience wants. And he said, we're not going to trample on free speech. And we also don't think that this incites any sort of violence or anything like that. So he says, we're standing by this thing. Okay. That was Wednesday. Now we're at Friday. And the people are still, now the people that are like, oh yeah, hold my beer. Now they've been activated on Twitter, and they're going after Ted Sarandos. So today, or I should say yesterday, Ted Sarandos said, look, we have a ton of variety on our platform. A lot of races, sexual identities are represented. And you know what the funny thing is the fucking one who started this. I mean, you're a transgendered woman. You're on the fucking like you have this, and this was, remember my criticism, Frank? You don't like Dave Chappelle? Write an episode on him. Take him out to the woodshed then. Take him to task. You have the platform. Raise your voice. Fight as a transgender woman and give your perspective on the same platform as Dave Chappelle. We have never ever had that in our history before.
She could do that. She chose not to go that way. She chose to do the protest way.
Be a whiny, cryy.
Will you stop?
Quitter. Okay. Anyway,
whiny, cryy quitter. She quit the company she doesn't believe holds her best interests to their, has her best interests in mind.
Think about that though. The company that was like, "Oh, you're a transgender woman? Sure, go ahead, right on the show. Go ahead, have a voice."
What does that mean? She should be grateful she has a job?
No, but in the past, it would have been like, in the past, 15 years ago, they would have been like, "Oh, we can't have, let's let's cancel this show." I don't think fucking ABC would have been like, "Yeah, let's put the transgender girl on fucking prime time." Whereas Netflix is like, "Go ahead, have a show, have a voice." I feel like that should be lauded.
Yeah, great, but that doesn't mean you can be shit on, just because you you're privileged enough to work there. No, you're still a person that your company shouldn't, treat you any differently.
So Sarandos in a staff memo on Wednesday, which was found by Variety, said adults can watch violence, assault, and abuse or enjoy shocking stand-up comedy without it causing them to harm others. We are working hard to ensure marginalized communities aren't defined by a single story. So we have Sex Education, Orange is the New Black, Control Z, Hannah Gatsby, and Dave Chappelle all on Netflix. Key to this is increasing diversity on the content team itself. So now he mentioned Hannah Gatsby, who I'm not familiar with Hannah Gatsby,
Me neither.
but I don't know if she's a gay comedian or whatever. Australian comedian Hannah Gatsby. Anyway, Hannah got a hold of this and she got very upset and she wrote, "Hey, Ted Sarandos, just a quick note to let you know that I would prefer if you didn't drag my name into your mess. Now I have to deal with even more of the hate and anger that Dave Chappelle's fans like to unleash on me every time Dave gets $20 million to process his emotionally stunted partial worldview. You didn't pay me nearly enough to deal with the real world consequences of hate speech, dog whistling you refuse to acknowledge. Fuck you and your immoral algorithm cult. I do shits with more backbone than you. That's a joke. I definitely didn't cross a line because you just told the world there isn't one."
I agree 100% with like everything she just said. That was perfectly worded. That was perfect. She's
Yeah.
getting backlash over something, and yeah, that's basically what it is. I mean, it's Dave Chappelle getting on stage talking about what bothers him and this because yeah, if you want to make jokes, fine. I get jokes are great or funny, but there's also crafting jokes so that they are funny. I get that there was a funny part to the end of his joke, people laugh, but the preamble, the lead up to the joke counts as well. And his preamble to the joke is stuff that when a comedian stands up and says something and it's not a joke, everybody applauds and goes, "Oh yeah, yeah, I agree with that." Because there's stuff like that in comedy sets too that aren't necessarily a joke, but they build up to something. So that's where I think everybody had the problem. It was in the preamble. It was him saying, I think gender, it wasn't the joke part. I feel like it was the
All right, now we're talking about the actual material,
the
right? So
actual material.
you saw it, I saw it.
Right.
What did you think?
I think it was not well crafted. It was not a good setup. It wasn't a good idea. Like he saw I feel like the joke part of it was all right. But I don't think it was anything. But I feel like the preamble leading up to the joke was where he gets into trouble because the preamble stuff is not a joke. Like there's stuff in comedy that, like George Carlin would tell jokes, but some of the stuff he said he wanted people to take seriously. Like it was not so much a joke, not so much a joke as much as it's him saying this is what we should do as a society. Right? You can't say 100% of everything in a stand-up act is supposed to be funny. You can't because, well, maybe in some, but in this one, some of it is just him talking, going, "Yeah, I agree," because some of the stuff he said was, "I agree with J.K. Rowling, and I agree with I forget the acronym that was mentioned in the stand-up thing."
Yeah, the one that he introduced that he didn't know what it was and he had to look it up.
Right.
Yeah, I forget
So
to.
none of that was jokey. He said, "I agree with this." It wasn't a part of the joke. It was just
No,
him
I think
making
it
a
was.
statement.
I think it was all a joke.
The whole thing was a joke.
The whole thing was. Did you watch the whole thing?
I didn't watch the entire hour and a half or whatever the hell long it
Oh,
was, but I watched the section that people had a problem with.
well, thumbs down this. Thumbs down this video. Then you got to watch
Why?
the
All right.
whole.
So you watched it. Go ahead. I'm not gonna. I don't. All right. Go ahead.
I got to tell you, I think if you didn't watch the end, I think you missed you missed it. You missed the whole
Go
thing.
ahead. Tell me.
So I watched it and I honestly thought that it was fucking genius. I swear to you, I thought it was genius. I thought it was, and the last time I got this excited, it's funny that you said George Carlin. George Carlin went on a run like in the 90s. Remember, he had a couple of those specials where he was just like black shirt and like on the rooftop sad and all that stuff, where he was
Hmm.
just fucking hammering truths that were so funny. And then there was a time for George Carlin too, where yeah, he was funny, but he was more spitting philosophy than
That's what I felt this was.
yeah, which I thought he captured the current moment now so fucking well. And I would be so disappointed in Netflix if they took this down because I feel like everybody should watch it and watch it all the way through. Now, I'm not a transgender person, but I know, I obviously have a lot of support for the community. I have somebody very close to me that's gay. I love them very dearly. So, lucky for me, I found out they were gay in high school. So I feel like I've had an open view of the world for a long, long time. And
Sure.
I watched that and I thought that I literally said to myself, how could any transgender person be offended by this? It makes no sense to me.
Really?
Zero sense to me that any transgender person would be offended because you're not really listening. Now, I will say, to be totally fair, there was a part where he was talking about he got into a fight with a woman at a nightclub. And did you see that part?
No.
He joked around about like that she was in his face or whatever and they got into an altercation. I think that was all a joke. It felt kind of real. That was the only bit of uneasy moment that I felt because
Why? What was
I don't know. It
uneasy?
just like I was like, I don't know, is this real? Is this? I wasn't laughing. I wasn't offended. I just didn't. I just it felt a little uncomfortable. Like it felt like the air came out of the room a little bit. Even in the audience, it felt like the air came out of the room a little bit.
So
With
that feeling that you had there is the feeling that trans people, I feel, or at least the people that are upset, had when he said, "Oh, gender is a fact and it's over and decided with, and you're a woman, you're a woman." He said that stuff, and that's the part that trans people had a problem with. I
well,
feel.
well, so he recaps the whole story about how he first started making jokes about trans people, and he said that he was doing this set in San Francisco and he had made some jokes or whatever and they wrote an article on him and they took a lot of his stuff out of context, right? And you know how it is, especially for stand-up comics, when you say something you have a cadence. You can say something. It happened on this show. We say things. It's clearly we're joking. Somebody go look in the comment. How could you fucking say that? It's like it was. You got to see it. It
Yeah,
was a
yeah,
joke. You put
sure.
that stuff in print, and then it looks horrible. So that's what they did. And they said in the article, and this was the crux of his whole thing. They said that he was making fun of transgender people and that he was punching down. And he took offense to that. He took a great amount of offense to that because he said, I'm
And he
not
what?
punching, that he was punching down on transgender people. That's what
Right.
they said in the
Hmm.
article. And that's what upset him. He got really mad at that because he felt, and he says this, and by the way, this a couple of spoiler alerts, but I'm not, it's still worth watching it. Even if I say it, Dave Chappelle line, it's still worth watching. You watch him say it. He said he's not, he doesn't hate trans people. He's not angry with them. He's jealous of them. He said, he goes, as he basically, and I'm paraphrasing here, but as a black person, he's been fighting, and that whole group of people have been fighting for their rights and equality and everything for hundreds of years. And then you look at the trans community, and it's not like they haven't been through their shit too, but they have made extraordinary progress
I think all that stuff is fine,
in
but
a really short amount of time. So when you look at it from that lens of like,
there's more to it than that, though. There's more to that. I think is fine. That's a well crafted joke.
well,
I think
you
the
have one might,
problem
you
came
have,
before.
go ahead.
Came before. Go ahead. I was gonna say the problem came before that when he's leading up to it. He goes, they came after J.K. Rowling because of this, and he starts with, I believe, he took a side on the transgender thing, and he said, well, I don't. He basically said that once you're born a man, you're a man. Once you're born a woman, you're a woman. He didn't say that verbatim, but he said that gender is decided. You have to be born out of a woman. And there's gender. There's like, it's not as cut and dry as that.
I don't think you're
And he
getting it
took
all
the see
from the
that that.
source.
What are you talking about? I heard that's what he that I heard him.
But so he continues on to the in the special, and he tells a story about a trans person who comes to see him when he's in San Francisco, and he's making jokes and he's doing all this stuff, and she is hysterical laughing the entire fucking time. And after the show, this girl comes up to him, and they're talking, and he finds out that she's a stand-up comedian, and she's never, like she hasn't been on stage a lot, and blah 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 and whatever, and she's trans and all that. And so Dave says, you didn't have any problems with my jokes, and she says, no, absolutely not one of them. She got upset at one thing, but again, it was like when he did the treating trans people with kid gloves sort of shtick, and she didn't like that, and so he he was really like impressed with her. So anyway, they I don't know if they exchanged numbers or whatever, but he goes off, and a couple of years later, he's got to come back around, and he's got to do it again, and he's looking for somebody to open for him, and he goes, I know, I'll call Daphne, I'll let her open the show. Daphne was her name, I believe. And so, and I'm telling you, this was so fucking funny, Frank. He's like, he puts Daphne up, and Daphne for 45 minutes just bombs, just dies on fucking stage, just like shitty, awful. And so then he goes up and he does his, and like Paul Mooney's with him, and like all these like legendary comics, and she just eats it on stage. And he said to her, oh, so he's up and he's doing his shtick, and Daphne, instead of like just going off and hiding, tail between her legs, comes in and sits down front row to watch Dave Chappelle's show. And he said, I was so impressed with that. I was so impressed with her. And he said it was obvious, and people felt it in the room, because there she was. She just died on stage for 45 minutes, and now she's sitting right there. He said, so one asshole in the back shouts out, hey, Daphne, we all want to know, do the drapes match the, do the drapes match the carpet?
Right.
And Daphne turns around and she goes, I don't know, honey, I got wood floors. And he said the place erupted in laughter.
That's funny. That's great.
He goes, here's
See, that's a good trans joke.
That's a great trans joke. And he goes, she reversed 45 minutes of bombing with one fucking great joke. And he got off stage and he said to her, he goes, you are really funny.
Nailed it.
And he's like, you can really do this, so on and so forth. So he gets and then he proceeds to tell the story of how over the years there are people that will come up to him and they will just regurgitate that same fucking first article that was written about him, that was basically falsely representing, what he had done on the stage that night. And he said he knew it because people would use the same exact language, and they would say shit like punching down. And again, he took great offense to that. So there was one point where one of the specials on Netflix came out, and there was some transgender stuff in there. And Daphne came to his rescue on Twitter, and Daphne tweeted out about her experiences with him, and she's transgender and all this and that stuff. 6 days after she comes to his defense, I'm going to spoil this now for you. So if you really want to, you guys could mute this part of the show or just skip ahead 15, 20 seconds. If you don't want the spoiler. 6 days after she comes to his defense, she takes her own life. She jumped off a roof. Like you're listening to this fucking story, and it's the way Dave Chappelle tells a fucking story. It's so good. Like you're like just so enthralled by this. But even in this tragically sad moment, he says, his line was like, I wasn't, he was like, and she did it in a way that a dude would do it. She threw, she jumped off a bit, like that's a man's way. He's like, so I really doubted her, being a woman, like, kind of like break the uh little levity in the situation. I obviously didn't do it justice, but it got a nice laugh. I laughed at it when he said it, and because again, you're like, your heart's broken that she killed herself over this. Or I don't know if it was necessarily over this, but it was 6 days after it happened, and he says that his heart was broken, and he said it wasn't that it was. He said it wasn't that it was my people versus her people. He said because she was a comic and she was my people. He said she was a
Yeah,
comic
well,
and she was my people. And it was beautiful. And it was like, when you
that's
look
great.
at that,
That's a great story.
when you watch that whole special and you take it into context, you absolutely, in no way, shape, or form, see a person that doesn't want trans people to have all the same rights
I
that
get
he
that.
does.
No, I get that.
So,
But
what are we talking about then?
so we're talking about there was a couple of lines in the middle of him saying, "I think again, not verbatim, but gender
I
is
get that,
is
but
it
again,
basically reverses their argument of gender is not what you are at birth; it's what you are inside.
right.
He's basically just reversing that.
But you're talking about a comedian on stage setting up jokes and material.
I
He
get that. If
can't,
he would have said, "I used to believe that," or "Hey,
but it
I
doesn't.
was,"
But Frank, you make jokes. Setup is important. It doesn't work if he's not coming with the idea. He gave you the premise. I'm a black person. I'm a minority. I for slavery, right to vote,
all that was
Jim,
good. All
all
that's
that
funny.
stuff.
When he did it, that
His
preamble.
people have been fighting for this long. Transgender people come along and from like, like, it seems like, I'm not saying this is true, but it seems like within 15, 20 years they have reached acceptance level. He
Which is a
even made
great joke, which is great.
he
That's
even
not
made
the
a
issue.
he even made a funny joke about how transgender people can switch to white like this. He goes, if the cops come, all of a sudden you're white. He goes, because we can't do that. So he's setting up this whole thing of like this jealousy, sort of a thing. It's just
I I do
jokes.
understand that. Yeah, I know it's all jokes. It's all jokes, but there's some
I
like
mean, I'm sorry to cut you off. I'll let you get it out. It would be like people going, Aunt, why are you so mean to Frank's brother's wife about the kind of parties she has? When like we all have a blast whenever we get together and we
of
all have
course, but
fun.
everything you say with that is purposefully, anti the thing because it's funny to be anti the thing. But
He's doing the same thing.
no, you're not. You're missing my point. You're not offending a group of people that are fighting for their rights. You're talking about a party of my brothers, and it's like not a huge deal. If you were saying, I don't believe that trans women are women, that's a setup to a joke that I don't think is a good setup.
Again, if he's out on Twitter every day being like, this is bullshit, this is a dude, I'm with you. I'm on your team. But it's a stand-up comedy special. It's a joke. You
Yeah,
have to say
you can't.
outrageous
I
things
know
sometimes.
that you can't hide behind it's a joke because
It's
not
not
every.
hiding behind it's a
It
joke.
is.
But it's a narrative. He's telling a story. Like I said, I
Yeah, I
feel
get that,
like
but the story is not the joke part. Like there's jokes weaved within these stories, but there are some parts of the story that he's saying because they're what he thinks and what he believes.
I know, but you understand the structure of a joke.
I do.
If people don't buy into the premise, then they will not be surprised and you will not get that pop during the punchline.
I get it. But if he came up there and said, I think I don't like gay people. If he said something like that, and he was like, no, I just don't think gay people deserve any rights, and it led to a joke that happens later, people would be like, dude, what the hell are you talking about? Why don't you think gay
But
people deserve any rights?
he clearly does. He doesn't have any issues with gay people.
I'm
In
not
fact,
saying that. I
he
didn't say
says
that.
it.
I said, yeah, that was an example.
Right, but he
Talking about
says
the
it
trans.
later. He says it later on in the special that he
What
has
is,
no issues with transgender people.
But then why did he say?
He befriended a transgendered person. By the way,
Right. That's fine.
that girl had no right to be on that fucking stage. That was an incredibly kind thing that you ask any comic. Oh, Dave Chappelle wants this person who's been on stage 8 times to fucking open for him.
I get that. That's great. And that's a wonderful story.
But that's humanity. That means more than anything. That should carry more weight than any setup to a joke that doesn't work for people.
Yeah, I get that. But it's
Because
like,
I feel like that the first woman there, the Dear White People woman, didn't watch the whole thing.
which is okay. That's fine. But what I'm saying is just
It's not fine.
Can you let me get a fucking thing out?
Yeah, go ahead.
Jesus. So like someone who goes, well, I'm not racist. I have a black friend. What's the problem? That person could still be racist. It's not like, so if saying you have a transgender friend or you help
that's tough.
Yeah, you can.
If you are truly friends with a person of a different race,
you could still think you're better than them.
I don't think that's racism, though.
How is that not racist?
Well, I think I'm better than all of my friends. I don't think that makes me
but
racist.
Not because of the color of their skin.
Well, some of them.
Oh, okay. That's up here, guys. Not here.
See, it's just a joke. Everybody knows I didn't mean it.
Yeah, you didn't mean it. That's the difference. He's like, there was a couple of sentences in the middle of there where if all he said were the jokes and he said, well, I used to think this, but I don't think it anymore.
Wait, go back.
That's different.
Can you be racist if you are friends with that race?
Yeah.
I don't know then if you're really truly friends.
Well, okay. Well, then you're not truly friends, but you probably could be racist and say you're friends, or you could be racist. Like if someone goes, I have, neighbors who are black and I get along, they come over, they eat dinner. But if that person thinks they're better than a better person or a class of citizen or whatever it is than them because they're white, then that's racist.
I just don't know if that person would invite those black people over for dinner. They thought that way.
There's a lot of reasons why people do shit, but I feel like you could be racist and do,
Well, I think this is the bigger point. The bigger point is there's no room for, right now it's snap judgment. It's discussed in under 140 characters. There's no room for larger conversation. There's no room for acceptance. And there's no room for interpretation, nuance, and analysis of what is really being said. It's just, oh, those are hateful words, and let's try and destroy this person.
No, I see. It's not. I'm not for destroying Dave Chappelle. I'm not.
I know you're not. I know you're not.
If he said something, I'm sorry, my internet keeps glitching. If it sounds like I'm cutting you off, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
But what my point is he had good jokes in the special, great. But I feel like there was just a couple of things in there that, if worded differently, wouldn't have been so bad. But he said things that, it's just, it didn't go with, I feel, maybe, he wrote them a different way, whatever. It just didn't line up with the rest of it. Because he's like, oh, look, I'm friends with this person. I love this person. I think that's a woman. I think this and that. But then in the middle there somewhere, he said, I agree with this organization and gender is decided. That's all there is. There's two, whatever he said. I can't get it verbatim, but, he just said there's just a couple of lines in there that if you remove them or you change them, there wouldn't have been an issue because the rest of it I thought was okay. But there was just a couple of lines where he's like, listen, gender's gender. That's it. It's over. We decide,
right.
He just went on the wrong side of the gender issue.
But I also think, again, you're missing the bigger picture of, even though those words were said, this guy is a good person who saw more than
absolutely. I never said it was bad.
But these other people are saying that, and I think again to the point, that longer thing of who are these people really, and I listened to Dave Chappelle and I watched that whole thing and I came away from that thinking to myself, this is not somebody who doesn't, especially as a black man who has spent a lifetime pointing out injustice through his comedy.
Totally.
How you could turn to that person and say he's punching down like and when he said that when he said he was offended like I swear to you I fucking felt that because I was like that's the problem with political correctness. It's this thing of like, oh, poor baby. And
Well,
it's
listen,
like this special treatment. And again, what the problem is with that is you put somebody in that delicate glove box and you never
it's
they
not
never
about
get
that.
beyond that.
It's not about that. It's the way it was structured. He said, like if he would have just said the stuff that he said, the joke parts. Like I'm not going to craft his jokes. I'm not that level of comedian. Obviously, I'm not even a stand-up comedian.
Tell me about
But
it.
if he
We'd have such a better podcast if you were.
right, but what I'm saying is there was just a couple of lines in there that just he took it like there are serious parts of stand up like where you just say you speak a little philosophy, you say your opinion on something, and then you get to the joke. It's all preamble to the joke, whatever. But there was just a couple of lines
I
that
understand. And like I said, I agree. I'm with you. I said there was that line about him fighting the woman. There
right.
was an
So there
altercation.
wasn't
Made me
right.
a little weirded me out. I didn't get it. And he lost me for a couple of minutes there, but
That's the thing.
the point being is that is nothing, absolutely nothing to quit your job over. It's stupid. It doesn't make the point that I forget her. I really should look up her name. It doesn't make the point that that writer thinks it's making. It's worse because when you again, and I feel like she looks like a bigger asshole. After I watched the special, I thought this girl is an even bigger asshole
Well, it's bringing
because
attention to it. Otherwise, I mean, yeah, she could have went the. That's probably a good way to do it. What you said, your way of doing it with write your own thing and come back
right.
at them. That would have been fine. But why even come back at them if you don't think there's a problem?
But her statement is, until you get rid of this guy, you're not going to have me. And it's like, first of all, you're talking about the cleanup hitter on a team versus the fucking, the what the pitching coach. Like who gives a shit? Teams fire fucking pitching coaches every 3 days sometimes if they have to. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have that weight, and the fact that you're trying to have that weight makes you look really stupid. And the fact that I watched the whole thing and then really got a sense of what this guy is, I think she looks even worse.
You don't think she watched the whole thing at this point?
I don't think so. And I think she said she did it. And I think she turned it on and heard the first couple of things. And you know what else I found interesting too? He said this is the last time he's talking about this because he's been having this battle with cancel culture, you know, for
When?
years.
For
Chappelle.
what?
Anytime he talks about
Canceled about
transgender,
what?
anytime he talks about transgender people in a special, the same set of stuff comes up. The same exact set of stuff comes up.
That's
And
ridiculous.
listen,
That's ridiculous. If the jokes are good,
I might have a different perspective of this than most people because I've been on that side. I laughed at I fucking did a bit on the air one time where Peter Rabbit, they were shooting in the movie Peter Rabbit, they shoot peanuts down a rabbit's throat or something, and you know I forget what it was. There was something where because obviously the peanut allergy people, and then they in the article, I'll never forget, I still think this is fucking funny. They fucking in the article they wrote like the second foremost authority on peanut allergies, Alex, Smith, blah, 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 and I fucking howled at that. I just howled at the idea that for this article they couldn't get the first most foremost authority on like when does the peanut allergy thing come up? What was that guy doing that he was so fucking busy?
they.
And then
That's a funny joke.
the idea of like Alex's parents, like you think they walk around and go like, "Oh, my son's doing he's second most for like one day he's gonna hit
Why
that
even
top."
mention what number he is.
It
Just
was
say one of
that's
the
how
leading.
that's how insane.
That's all you have to do.
That's how insane. Okay, Frank, for 3 weeks, 3 weeks, I was getting calls from psychopaths. My bosses were getting calls. Have you fired that asshole yet? What is he? You don't think peanut allergies are real? It's like you didn't fucking hear. You didn't. Peanut allergies had zero to do with that joke. Zero. It was
Yeah.
the idea of the second most authority.
Of course. Yeah, that's a different story. That's not the same thing as
But
Chappelle.
but what I went through was, and I hauled into the corner office. Can you apologize for this? No. Why won't you apologize? Because I didn't do anything wrong. Because these people didn't. They're. I understand why they're angry. I would be upset too if my kid had a peanut allergy and had to go through the world that way. I totally sympathize, but I'm not going to sit here like, and that is what this is. It is just, can
It's
we
not the
push
same
you
thing.
around? Can we cancel you? Can we mischaracterize you? I mean, the guy is a minority who sympathizes with another minority group, who befriends their people, who gives them opportunities that honestly they weren't even ready for. And we're still going to fucking put this guy in a box because some ass fuck 13 years ago wrote an article and misquoted and put comedy material into print. But that's more important than a guy sitting out there telling you, I sympathize, I empathize, I became friends with, I gave opportunities for. I'm jealous. My people have been fighting for this. They are getting there so quick. To me, that's a human being just
But that's
being
a
a human
joke. Why
being.
would you take that seriously? It's a joke.
What do you mean?
You know that he's jealous of their progress. That's just a joke.
No,
See, there's truth to that, right?
But there's truth to it, of course. Yeah, of course. I see the point I get the point that you're making, but I think
There's
think
some
you're missing.
truth weaved in, and
I
he said
agree.
something that probably he shouldn't have said. Is my opinion.
I agree. I agree with that.
Am I
But
gonna say the guy's a complete piece of crap and everything he said is terrible? No, he said one terrible thing. Well, terrible, one really bad thing.
right.
I don't know. You know, it's terrible for trans people, and it's detriment to their whole progress. It's like, you know, it makes people think, oh yeah, I agree with, you know, it's just,
I agree with what you're saying, but you have to give me this point. People, cancel culture people, right? Twitter people, people who act like they're liberals will take this guy and put him in the same bucket as the piece of shit that would actually go and cause physical harm to a trans person just because they're trans.
no, of course, I
There's
get that.
there's no line of
comparison.
delineation between these people, and that is a big and they don't even care. They don't care.
No, I know that's not the same thing. I think, if I can devil's advocate a little bit here, I think their thing is, well, he's enabling that sort of thinking. That's the only thing I could. Right.
There's no
I don't know.
there's no way. You watch the whole body of work and there's just no fucking way. I mean, and that's what angers me, and I catch shit for this because people that side with you, they talk about how great you are when we get into these conversations, and they talk about how shitty I am, which is fine, I can take it. But what angers me about that is I feel like something like this is doing more good for the cause of transgender people than harm. Yet you have these people out there that are like, oh, that one sentence was bad, and they're the bigger
Is that an
problem.
impression of me? You dick. So I think I said that that whole thing verbatim, but it's no. I understand what you're saying, and if you wanted to make jokes, all the the funny parts were funny, but it's talking about the serious parts that were like cringy. To be honest, when I heard him say, "Well, I side with this," I forget the acronym. I side with them, and women are women, men are men, whatever he said. Gender is decided. That's it. That's the issue. That's the problem. That
Right, but
if he said I used to think that way, it's a different story. But he said I side with these people.
even to say like, even if I get people would get really mad at it, but even if you were like, you know, you know, I don't care. That's a man dressed like a woman. I mean, I get it. To me, I would love, yeah, and I'm accepting. I don't take offense to that, and I don't think trans people should either. As long as they're accepting of it, as long as they're like, I will call you a woman. I will,
Wait, what do you mean?
whatever.
I
But
don't get your point. What was it?
my point is like, he's like, oh, if because he made that joke too about, if he came up to a urinal and he saw, I forget what it was now, a woman peeing, like he that was the other part. He made a joke about if he was in a men's room peeing at a urinal and a woman came up next to him and started peeing, that it would be weird.
Well, that's the point. A woman wouldn't do that. Woman would use the ladies' room.
Should be using the ladies' room. So that's a, when you say that's a pro transgender statement.
But he's saying that I don't know if that's anything that would be offensive. I mean, that would be, but I think the point is that they're not allowed to use the ladies' room at the moment in a lot of places.
Well, he was talking about South Carolina, and he was also, that was what was funny. He was also talking about the fact that the baby killed somebody in a Walmart and was forgiven. Yet, and I forget, I don't know what he said. I know he said some anti-gay stuff a couple of weeks ago, months ago, whenever it was.
Mm.
He goes, that's going to ruin his career. So he murdered a man's life, took a person's life, killed a person. Fine. But he said a bad thing about gay people, unforgivable.
I don't think that's fine. I didn't even know about that until you just said it.
Yeah, well, that's in the special. You have to watch the full special again.
I will watch the full special.
I'm telling you, I was really, it was Carlin-esque in that it was as much, just a wonderful description of our time and a philosophical viewpoint as it was a funny stand-up. I
thought it was all jokes.
he took it. No, but I mean, but he's making the point that this is such the wrong direction for this kind of a thing, and that like here's the full story, and that perhaps if the politically correct people, liberals, Twitter people, whatever you want to call them, would be more understanding and really look at things rather than being angry in 3 seconds. What was in the article? Put it in the headline. Wait till they get fired. Take away their thing. Do this, do that, do whatever. We would be so much better off. We would be making so much more progress with all of these things than we are actually making. I mean, again, the idea that a minority person is just being thrown to the wood chipper for essentially being on the same journey of the people that he's making fun of is kind of insane. It's kind of insane. His struggles are the same or similar to that of the transgender people. 1,000,000%. Maybe not right now because transgender people are going through that point of acceptance now. When you look at the history of African Americans in this country, it is not a favorable one.
No,
and I'm sure if we had to put dollars to donuts on what's what, I'm sure a lot less transgender people were, not that this really matters, but a lot less transgender people were murdered than African American people were murdered just for being who they were.
Because transgender people are more in the spotlight now. 100 years ago, 200 years ago, they didn't make themselves known as they do today. So, yeah.
Yet another advantage they have over black people.
Well, I think the point is that African American people
feel like
have progressed. All right, I'm not even going to talk anymore.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I felt I made a really great point and you didn't acknowledge it because you're just trying to make your point, but go ahead.
African American progress, people are, I think progress for African Americans is way ahead of transgender progress.
You are fucking insane. That's
people
insane.
Well, you just take a simple example. People are more probably willing. If you take your average bigot, I don't know, they're willing to hire a if they have a choice between a African American person or transgender person, I feel like the transgender person might get the short end of the stick
I agree.
almost all
I
the
get
time.
what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying.
I take back my you're insane statement. I get what
Yeah.
you're saying. But what I think we're both talking about the same thing. I think the curve of or the arc of their stories of acceptance and then um well what's the word I'm looking for? Exceeding expectation, excelling of acceptance and then excelling, their arcs are just at different places.
Yeah.
But when you put them together, I feel like African Americans have dealt with a lot more shit for a far longer
Sure.
time
Longer. Yeah.
than
Sure.
because what you're talking about is what I said before. It's just transgenders. Their moment is right now.
Well, I think it's a different struggle. I don't think it's because from what I understand about the transgender community, they've been around forever, but they
Of
just
course.
couldn't. Part of the struggle is that they couldn't be out in the open about it. That's you know that's hurtful as well. Maybe not as it's two different struggles is what I'm saying. African American people, just because they were African American, that was their that's what kept them from excelling. Transgender people, what kept them from being themselves is the fact that they couldn't even say I'm transgender or I'm not a man, I'm a woman, or vice versa. That was part of their struggle. And now that they can, and they are saying that, they're getting even more, it's a different struggle, I think.
Well, yeah. Well, but they also weren't enslaved. It's like you said.
No,
It's
that's what I'm saying. It's a different struggle.
yeah.
Two different paths.
But and I'm not saying this is not you because I know you and I know this isn't you. The politically correct crowd doesn't understand that. They just see the rich comedian who's got all. That's the other thing too. There's a bit of a jealousy thing for all of this. This rich,
I don't see
successful
that.
guy who's going around saying things they don't understand.
I think it's the opposite. I think it's just they see a guy making jokes. I don't think they hold him up on a pedestal in this.
Oh, I think so. I think there's a let's get him of like that guy's successful. Let's get him. Let's pull him
I
down.
I thought it was just no, because there's not a nothing here. There's something here. It's
Because
not.
I also think this had a what the fuck was her name now? I forgot. Had a Hannah Gatsby. This Hannah Gatsby, I feel like again, and like you've interviewed comics. I've interviewed a ton of comics. They're a special breed. They feel like radio people. Like there's like this thing there. Like you're just connected through radio. There's just like this
Sure,
thing.
there's a community.
And you get together and that's all you talk about and
Yeah.
and with comics it's the same thing. I'm sure cops and
Oh, with every profession, I'm sure there's a
teach
community of
yeah
that
yeah
profession. Sure.
yeah but especially with comedians because of their profile and they have a big voice and where they get to speak and everything like that. This Hannah Gatsby, I'm surprised that she again like would take this sort of an angle on it, and to me it just looks bad because I was looking at somebody screenshot their Rotten Tomatoes uh, scores for their
Hmm.
last specials, and this is what I found real. And again, I think this illustrates my point. And I'm
I
gonna
can't
look.
go by Rotten Tomato. They let me down a lot. Movies I think are good. They think it suck. It's just I feel like it's not as accurate as you'd imagine.
Right. No, and I understand that, but you know how you look on Rotten Tomatoes and there's like the audience score and the tomato meter or whatever they call
Hmm.
it. So you look at this, and this Hannah Gatsby special is like 100% on the tomato meter, and the audience score is like 25%. And then you look at Chappelle, and he's got like a 27% on the tomato meter, yet he's got like a 98% score on the audience meter. And
Yeah.
it's like that to me is there's the issue that's illustrated. It's perfectly illustrated because you have what people really think, and then you have people trying to control and say control the narrative and be like, oh, this is this woke thing and blah blah blah, and like 27 like to give Dave 27%. Like who the
Well,
fuck?
what are they measuring? What is that? The
I don't
tomato
know.
meter goes by what? Is it just them,
Who
their
knows?
opinion, or is it based on like views or something?
Well, no,
Because if it's
because the
just their
audience.
opinion, yeah, you're right.
It's just like it's like their like opinion or whatever.
So who the cares what they?
But I'm just saying, like therein lies the issue with this thing. Is like there's this woke thing of like, and again, I hate speaking out against this because I am a liberal person as far as social culture becomes. I believe everybody should be treated, fairly. I have a soft spot in my heart for people, that are not like others. That after all, that's why I befriended Frank and Janine. Like nobody else wanted to be their friend, and there I was to be like, you guys are my pals. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So, I'm very, so I hate when I have to speak against woke culture, but there are times when it gets so fucking out of control.
I get that. I understand that, but there's. I feel like there's short-sightedness and there's far-sightedness where people go, well, you see, this can lead to something, or this, like the thing with Demi Lovato and the alien thing. I feel like everybody agrees that's bullshit and stupid.
Right.
So that's, but this has real world implications and real world impact. I feel, and it's like not, you know, I just think there's better ways to go about making jokes. I'm sure. Listen, I'm
Understandable.
not the comedian. I'm not going to write these jokes, whatever. But there are hits and misses, and I think that part of it was a miss.
Understandable. But again, I reiterate that, um, I reiterate that. Oh, fuck. What was I going to say? God damn it. What did you say?
Who remembers?
Oh,
Go back.
again, I reiterate that this is not going to incite any kind of violence. Like nobody can
No,
watch
maybe
this guy's special. First of all, if anybody watched this and then beat up a trans person, they were probably going to beat up a trans person anyway. Like there was nothing in this that was
well,
like
that's
that guy's right. What are they doing peeing in our bathroom? You know what I'm saying?
no,
It wasn't
that's
structured that way.
that's not the point. No. It's not that. It's the viewpoint. If I could speak on the behalf of the woke viewpoint, I guess, is that
You always do.
this
Why'd you preface it this time?
okay, I don't know. But this allows people to think less, that they're above another group of people. It might not directly say, it's not like Dave Chappelle's like, these people are terrible and go beat them up. He didn't say that. But it allows people to think that they know more than this
Right.
than this
And
group of
see,
people.
and this is where we disagree because I don't think it does. I think somebody wrote an article about it and put that thought in
Doesn't affect
everybody's
me,
mind.
doesn't affect you. We don't think that way. But there are people who will go, oh, you know what? Dave Chappelle has a point about trans people, and it might set them back
But
a
but
step.
there's a difference. There's a difference in actually coming to that conclusion and being told about coming to that conclusion from an article. Case in point, and I don't want to because we got to end the show. We got to actually chop off the last couple topics. Um, Dr. Sanjay Gupta was on Joe Rogan. I don't know if you happen to hear any of it.
No, I haven't.
It was a great um, podcast. Like really, really well done. And I can't give Joe any of the credit because Joe does it every day. For Sanjay Gupta to go in there, for Joe to have him on, he gets the credit. For Sanjay to go in there and talk about it, I thought it was great. I thought it was great of the both of them. They were talking about the I word, which we can't say on YouTube.
Right.
All right. And Joe called him out on it. Joe was like, "Hey, your network said I took horse dewormer." He's like, "You're a doctor. Is that horse dewormer?" And Sanjay Gupta was like, it's been used like that, but it's a drug that's been given to people for parasitic treatment, and the guy who created it came up with the Nobel Prize, won the Nobel Prize, and all he's like, so why did your network say that? And Sanjay Gupta was like, I don't know. And 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, whenever he got COVID, e- every article was this guy took, horse dewormer. And and you said it too. And I
Yeah.
said, I said the
Well, it's
unfortunate.
not horse dewormer, but it's more
Right,
than that.
but it is also something that treats uh, bacterial parasites, and they're trying to see if there's some sort of
Hmm.
a use for it in this. But
Right.
yet everybody's attitude was this guy's batshit crazy for taking horse dewormer. Now the only reason why everybody felt that way is because CNN decided, and CNN said this is what it was, and then so everybody went out there and was like, this guy's fucking crazy.
So
And I
what
feel
did he
like
say
this,
about it? What did he say? Did he think it was a good idea to take it? Did he think it was?
again, and this is the problem with woke culture. They had a really long, it wasn't something that was said that you could say in 140 characters. They had a long conversation about it. Obviously, Gupta believes in people being inoculated, and he didn't wane in that at all. And they had a really good open conversation about it. And if you ask me, like, again, you talk about like, oh, it could influence people. And I could totally see people taking like a headline from this in a quick fucking article on some shitty blog and being like, "Oh, see, Joe's, it's not like that. It was a big long conversation. They were both right about a lot of things, but the one thing that really came out of it, which Joe really kind of, had a great point that was undisputable by Sanjay was, why the fuck was it labeled this? Why? And he's
Yeah.
kind of right.
Yeah. Well, I hear you. If because that's all they knew about it. They saw the word horse dewormer and they
But
went.
right,
They didn't
but
realize. They didn't care to. I don't know. Tell everybody, hey, it's more than that. But
but
that's what it was. That's what
that
everybody knew about it.
that's a news organization.
I
The Joe
know. It's
Rogan
fucked up.
podcast, this podcast, we can dick around. But a news organization should know their shit when they're telling things to the public. And they fucked up,
Yeah.
and they fucked up. And that's my point. And I
Yeah.
feel like I only bring it up because it's sort of the same thing here. You have this one thing telling everybody how to think, and nobody really takes the time to actually get to know this person and find out the real story. And if you watch this special in its entirety, you'll get the real story.
But
I
is
don't
that
want to
also all right?
go ahead.
Is that also taking the headline and not listening to the whole story? Because if you say CNN said, "Oh, he took a horse dewormer," did you hear the whole story that they said? Maybe they said, "Yeah, it's seen to do other things."
Yeah, they played the clips.
They said the whole thing, and it was nothing
Yeah,
but horse dewormer
yeah.
talk.
And look, if on the article online it said it on the bottom line that they did blah 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 blah, fine. But when you watch the clips of what they said on the air on TV Land,
The out of context clips
no, it
that
was
you're.
the
Did you watch the whole special?
no, but it was the full. They played one of the girls. They played one of the girls on there.
Right.
There's asteroids coming past the planet Earth tonight, so hold on to your ass if you need to. Mick and Paul are bickering with
Yep.
each other once again. Michael Caine retires. Hooters outfits are too short, says the Hooters. I'm surprised Hooters is still even a fucking thing.
Yeah, they have good wings. That's all. I haven't been to a Hooters since we were in college, I think, or maybe a little bit after that.
People will judge me for this, but you know it's true. I feel like you feel the same way. Nobody's going to fucking Hooters to look at the girls.
No, you're right.
It is literally the
It's a
chicken wings.
chicken wing sports bar place.
Yeah. We don't need these tight ass outfits. You could put them in different outfits. It's not
It's
going to
fine.
fucking make a difference.
People will still go to Hooters. It doesn't. People are all of a sudden they're dressed, in sweatshirts. People aren't going to go. Oh, I'm not going now.
It's this half pregnant thing. Like, oh, if somebody really wants to ogle over women, they'll go to a strip club. They don't need to go to fucking Hooters.
Right.
It's
There's-
stupid.
There's plenty on the internet. They don't need to go to a Hooters.
Look, maybe it works for like the 22-year-old with testosterone. They'll go to Hooters instead of the other sports bar because the girl. Maybe it is working for some degree, but it feels weird. And then they try and pass along as like a family restaurant thing. I don't know. It's so
Yeah,
fucking.
pick a
stupid.
lane.
It's a big thing in my marriage because my wife refuses to go, and I'm just like, I just want their grilled cheese. I think is a little bit better than their.
Do they have takeaway?
The only time I've had it in the last like 7 years is we got takeaway.
See, that's your wife's Why can't you? We don't have to go. Why can't we just do the takeaway
Yeah.
if you like the grilled cheese?
Which I don't even care. I'll do takeaway. I don't give a fuck. I don't need to be in there. But I like to eat the food, Anyway.
I liked sitting on the table shaped like Long Island. Remember
Well,
that?
that's in the one, yeah. Which I don't even know if that one even exists anymore because
I
there's
don't
only
know.
like 3 of them around.
Yeah, I don't think.
It's Frank's birthday.
Yep.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
How was
Appreciate
your birthday?
My birthday was nice. I worked today, regular job, but I got nice presents from my wife, which was amazing.
What kind of presents? Like up in the morning, first thing in the morning presents?
Hey, whoa, wait, come on! How many times you gonna ask me about how many times I get late? Jeez, I got this beautiful mug, Metallica and coffee for all.
Let me ask you a question. Let's talk about something that people will find interesting. What's more appropriate for the birthday? Full on sex? Or you get to just lay back and enjoy whatever?
Yes. Both of those things.
Am I too lazy to say I'd rather just give me? I'll take a BJ, an HJ, or a ZJ on the birthday.
CJs, you gotta ask. You can't afford it.
If we're having sex, I still have to do work, and that doesn't seem like a birthday present to me.
I mean, depends on your role, I guess.
I mean, come her birthday, I'll same deal applies.
I hear you. I think it's all good. Mixed bag.
I think you gotta go. I think the birthday boy or girl gets to just lay back and relax. That's my philosophy on birthdays.
It's not a bad policy. I mean, depends on your marriage. Depends on how you guys roll. That sounds like a good one. Seems like a fair deal.
Anyway, you got quite a bit of presents, and then you're doing what, dinner
Nice
Sunday?
presents. We're doing dinner Sunday. We went out tonight. We did the Korean place again, which I'm growing to love.
Korean barbecue?
Yeah. Oh no, not barbecue, just Korean restaurant.
Just Korean cuisine. Okay.
Yeah, it's Korean Japanese mixed cuisine, and it's very good. It's right in my neighborhood.
I'll tell you something. Let me tell you something about Asian people in general. No problem with the fusion. They don't really care.
They fuse a lot of stuff together.
They're fusing people. Yeah, you don't really see like Italians going, "Oh, Greece is close by. We'll have fucking gyros and chicken parmesan." They just don't
doesn't
do
work. I don't know why. Yeah, you're right. Hey, it's working. It's working. The Japanese Korean cuisine. You got sushi on one page. You got bibimbap bowls on another page.
100%. We're so progressive here in New York. In certain locations, I'm not saying everywhere, but in certain locations, they have Chinese and Mexican restaurants fusion. And you go in there and you go, "Why are these two things?" And they just go, "It's all rice. It doesn't matter. It's just rice."
Oh, you see, that's something.
That's just a concept. Remember? Do you remember on what was it, Liberty, the corner of Liberty and Cross Bay? There was the Mexican Chinese. You remember by the bus stop?
That's true. Yeah.
And it was just like,
I wonder how that place is doing.
It was like, we put this stuff on the rice on this end. We put this stuff on the rice on that end. It's all good, and they fucking made a ton of money.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the bigger the upscale restaurants, they don't. I don't know.
When you think about it, rice is the great
unifier.
Unifier.
It's in a lot of cuisines, so internationally.
Every culture.
I'm trying to think of a good Italian rice dish. Baked rice is good. Rice balls, those are amazing.
Yeah, and Italians are dicks. We're like, "Oh, this will be risotto." It's just a slightly bigger rice, asshole.
I mean, it's a lot of cheese. Italian cuisine.
We did.
Holy crap!
A Chinese guy handed an Italian guy the first thing. He goes, "I know. I'll put a bunch of cheese on this."
Man, I mean, it's unbelievable. I can't think of off the top of my head. I mean, a bowl of pasta with marinara, even that.
Yeah.
We throw cheese on it.
I would have loved to have been there when the first Italian took a bite of rice and went, "This could use 4 pounds of cheese on it."
Yeah, I don't know what we're doing with this rice, but it doesn't have cheese. I don't want anything to do with it.
I don't know what we're doing, but it's going to have a 3-to-1 cheese to rice ratio.
Holy crap. What are we doing with the cheese? We got to take it easy.
No, I believe racial equality should be a flag with a rice on it. That's what I believe. That's my thought.
I love it. Rice. Rice is a magical thing. Rice. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in every cuisine. I can't think of one. I mean, that you look. I watch all these Gordon Ramsay shows. He goes to different countries and all that. I feel like rice is in everything.
It's fucking in everything. There's like a side of rice. Get a little
I
rice with
can't,
that.
I can't imagine it's easy to harvest too. It's like you got to pick this one little grain in every. How do you get all those that rice? It's a lot.
That's a lot of work. Yeah.
It's a lot of work. I feel it's
Indian
everywhere.
rice. You got your jasmine rice. You got your chili lime rice. You got
Oh,
your.
risotto. That's another Italian rice dish.
Yeah, I made the risotto joke like 5 minutes ago. You didn't hear it?
No, I heard rice balls.
Yeah.
My internet sucks today.
It
I
was
don't know
good. Go
what's going
back
on.
and watch the show.
Nah, I don't do that.
So Korean tonight. What are you doing Sunday? What's the cuisine Sunday?
Italian.
There you go.
Going to a nice place. Beautiful. They play like a Dean Martin and Sinatra on the radio.
There are some, not every Sunday, but there are some Sundays where I need a bowl of macaroni. Like I gotta have a bowl of macaroni.
I could eat pasta 7 days a week.
Yeah.
It's not. I shouldn't, and I
But
don't. But I
do you
could.
think other cultures do that where they're like their main gluttonous family, culture value meal is like they gotta have it?
I'm sure there's a go-to for each culture. I'm sure they have like a dish that's like it's easy to make. You can make a ton of it. It's not expensive, and they just
Yeah.
pound it out on 1 day a week. I'm sure there's that. Sure, every culture has that.
Like I wonder, and you can make fun of me here or call me a racist. It's fine.
Okay.
I don't really give a shit. Um, there was that movie. Fuck. It was about the black family. Ugh, I love it so much. It'll come to me. But it came out when we were younger, and every day, every Sunday, they would go to Big Mama's house, and they would have fried catfish and collard greens and whatever. And I
Was it Big
remember
Mama's house?
I don't know if it was Big Mama's house. Vanessa Williams was in it. She gets cheated on by her husband. Um, who else is
Yeah,
in
I'm
it?
not sure.
There's a lot of great. It's about a black family and all the stuff that they go through, and the sisters and how tough their relationship is, and so on and so forth. It's a wonderful movie. It'll come to me anyway. They got together and they had Sunday dinner, but they had all the things that they were accustomed to. And when growing up as Italian, like that's all we used to do. We used to just fucking eat pasta, and that was like one of the first times I was like, oh, other cultures do this too. Like
It's like
it
a
never,
family night.
yeah, and it never occurred to me. Like I know other cultures get together and eat, but I didn't realize. Like, see, for Italians, it's so important. Like we wouldn't get together on a Sunday and have fucking grilled cheese sandwiches. Like it's just never gonna happen. It was
Right.
macaroni and
It's
sausages.
pasta.
Yeah. But that was like one of the first times, and I still often wonder, like, do Greek people get together and have their, have their Greek gyros and souvlaki, and do they do all that stuff? And is it on a Sunday, or do they do theirs like on a Saturday, or I wonder about that stuff.
Yeah, I dated a Greek girl for a while, and uh, I don't think they had like a set like every Sunday they did this or every Sunday they did that. I know Easter was a big thing, the lamb, everything, the whole deal. But I don't remember them doing a weekly whole family get together thing.
Yeah.
They'd have dinner every night together, but I don't think they brought in extended family every week.
Mm.
But that was
Well, I would love to know. I would love to know in the comments. Tweet at us, Facebook messages, emails, whatever. What's your culture, and did you have a go to meal like on like every
right.
fucking Sunday? And like when
Every
when you were
Sunday.
little, it was like enough already. Can we go and do something different?
It's less and less these days. Like we used to do that when we were little. We'd go to our grandparents' house, and the whole family would be there.
Right.
These days, everybody's kind of scattered, and there's not much of that anymore.
And I will say, like, honestly, now I don't do that all the time. Like sometimes like, to me, it's more important. Like we go out to eat, or we say, whatever. And it doesn't have to be an Italian place, but there are some Sundays where like you wake up in the morning and you're like, I need a huge plate of fucking linguine today. Like it's got to happen.
That's one of my favorites. Linguine and clam sauce.
Ugh. Ugh.
Good stuff.
All right, we're 2+ hours. I hope
Good Lord.
this is a good cap to your birthday.
It was wonderful. Wonderful stuff. Glad to be here on my birthday. and had a good time.
You're a trooper. You're not like some of these other people that are like, oh, it's my birthday. I can't be, doing this shit.
Hey, yours is coming up. We gonna be here?
Fuck no. I don't work on my birthday.
Oh, all right, asshole.
No, I'll be here. I would love it if we could just not talk about it and not acknowledge it.
Would
'Cause
you?
I just don't like that. Yeah, I would love it if we just ignored it. That would be the best ever.
Yeah, we'll see.
I shouldn't have said that to you.
You jerk. What do you think is gonna happen?
Yeah, no, but it's stupid. It's dumb.
Why?
I just don't like it. I don't like the birthday thing.
You don't like aging?
I don't like aging. I'm not really good at it.
We all got to do it.
Yeah, I guess so. All right, we'll leave it there. Appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. Make sure you hit the thumbs up on the video on YouTube. Fucking YouTube. We had over 200 something people watching at one point during our premiere, and fucking sitting there with 20 thumbs up. Sons of bitches. People stealing free content.
You
Fucking
see that? Just
click
give us
a
a thumbs
button.
up. Last video, they kind of came to, they heard us. I feel, and they came
Yeah.
to our rescue. They gave us the thumbs up. A lot of people.
Well, we have great people, Miss Justice and Robin and Paul and I
Right.
can't name everybody. There's a ton. You all, if you believe me, you know who you are.
Yeah,
With us every
all
single
our
time.
regulars. You guys are awesome, and the people who are just joining us are awesome.
Fuck those people.
It's nice. It's a nice note to leave on.
All right, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Again, thumbs up all around. Don't forget Jumpstart Coffee if you want to grab some coffee. Merch in the merch store. If you'd like to donate to the Star Legacy Foundation, please do so. Link in the description below. That would mean a whole lot to Jay Sabs, who is giving a speech tonight, which is why she couldn't be here for the Star Legacy Foundation, which is a stillbirth fundraising organization and awareness organization. So help out there if you can, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.